Okay, I didn't see anybody in here. I knew I didn't have any sound, but my chat was all broken. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Yelly Lady. Hi, J.S. Hi, Whisper to Me. Hi, Delia. Hi, Mary Kim. Hi, Anna. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Randy. Hi, Evie. Hi, Yvette. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Deb on the Move. Flower Girl. VST. Tree Dog. Michelle. Hello. Sakura. Patty and Jack. Anne. Deborah. Miss Mary. Wildlife. Hi, Lily. Joe Cano. Dar's Cabins. Let's see. Cam. Lisa H. You bought 2 of the deer at Walmart. Yeah. Mama Ames and Sonia bought 1 too. It's the snow remover. You know, I can't even show you the cutest things I saw online, and they're not in stock, and I don't know if they're in the store. Hi, Pat. You should be able to hear now. Hi, Susan. Hi, Brenda. Where was I? Frugal Mom, Lily, Flower Girl, Monica, Patty and Jack, Tori, Lisa. I'm not still muted. Kristen. How's your daughter doing, Kristen? Eileen, Tori, Karen, Janelle. We don't do anything fast here. Travel, It's a Beautiful Day, Marco, Dory, Scarlet Rain, Laura, 2 Scooter, Sea Glass and Shells, Sakura, I got you. Okay, and Janine, Tanya, Case Watcher, Tracy B, Tamlin, Norma, hi. I saw these really cute things on the website though, Lisa, and they don't have them in the store. They're all the vintage, the deer, the snowman, a Santa, something else so vintage, and they're little music boxes that look like little books, but they're ornaments. They're like $5.95 each. They're out of stock online, and I've never seen them in the store. She got out of the hospital. Oh, I hope she gets better soon. Hi, Pink. First, last, hello. Hi, Pat. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Liz. There's a posting made by, but who is that made by? That's a lie, first of all. But who is that made by? Liz. Anyway, so there's did you guys notice the Facebook page of the author for the book is gone? You love the sign? Did you get it? Okay, can you email me? Could you email me, Liz? My email's in the Carolyn@truecrimechat.org. What's 1250? What's 1250? You have a lot of what at Walmart? Not the little, are you talking about the little music boxes? Get out of town, Lisa. Are you kidding? I'm seriously feel like driving in my car right now and going to Walmart. Oh, get out of here. Did you get some? I'm going to have to go to my Walmart tomorrow. I really... Hi, Seattle Crown Girl. No, I mean, no. Why? Oh, did you get them? Did you get them, Lisa? Yeah, Sassy's not impressed. Sassy's not impressed. Are you, Sass? Oh, in a good way. Okay. They feel duped because they thought that she was going to write the book in a certain way, and then someone showed text, and you know what? It's someone that's kind of turning into be PR for the Watts family, and to say that, I guess, you want my glasses? I guess that this, my hair is like a lunatic. I rode my bike earlier today. I'm a mess. That the author was going to go in a different direction, and the author was going to show that Shanann basically, not that she had it, Cindy's narrative, right? That Shanann was all wrong for him, and Shanann did this, and Shanann did that. Well, she thought the author was going to go like that. And also that the author was going to show that he was either demon-possessed or, just like, of course, it would never be that Chris was damaged or Chris was dead inside or anything like that. And it's a she. Sass is a she, but I call her a he a lot too, right, Sass? Something like that, Deborah, but that it was going to put Chris in a really good light that, what is up with my hair? He didn't mean to do that, like he was driven to it. It wasn't his fault, whatever the heck she thought. And Jamie was texting with the author. Now, the person that released the text is someone that's connected with Mel, who's trying now to be a champion for the Watts and say that don't buy the book. If you do, take it with a grain of salt. What else did she say? That but it's very convenient that they don't show you Jamie's texts, because see, the author claims that when she did not follow this narrative, okay, that the family just got rid of her. Like they were pissed off and they got rid of her when she wouldn't listen to the narrative that they wanted. Now, the family's spinning it in another way through someone else. And so, they conveniently do not show you Jamie's text that came before that probably said exactly that, like, why aren't you going with our narrative? And then it shows a text from the author who's saying, like, in other words, I'm sorry, I got so upset yesterday when you said this or whatever. We are going to show about Shanann, but we're going to do it in a different way. So this author was still saying stuff about Shanann. So I don't exactly have any trust that she was ever not going to be saying stuff about Shanann, okay? Because if you read the text, you can see it. But then she starts saying that we're going to do it in a way that doesn't seem obvious. We, Chris and her. And then you could see that things were strained between the two. But again, it didn't follow a carefully omitted text from Jamie that I'm sure told a different story. So it was very one-sided, of course. And you canceled it, Brenda. Yeah. Okay, so now the Facebook page is totally down. Thanks, Bergstrom. What? Do I feel better? No, Ella Lady, no. It's not that I feel better. No, I don't think... I think she started either with a certain narrative and then changed it. I don't I hate to say this because but I don't. Okay. I'm from New York. I'm a skeptic anyway, but I don't feel very trusting that this is not a self-serving change of heart like some other creators have had recently. So yeah, I'm not convinced of anything, and I'm not buying the book. So because everything she said, other than the girls waking up again, we've all heard. So I don't know. And every time she says, "Oh yeah, there's something in the book about that," she never goes on to elaborate with anything then we don't know. So you're also okay, Jean Marie. Yeah. So what happened with nobody's flipping out that she deleted the Facebook page? If I had bought a book from the publisher and she came in there and deleted the Facebook page, that's really suspect. I'm sorry. That is very, very suspect. Jamie is Cindy's puppet. In my opinion, the author did an interview with Scott. Yes, and that is, she said, was bothered by, what was that? Hold on, she was bothered with Chris, didn't say. Yeah, she said that, yes. But again, is it sincere? You just canceled and ordered through Walmart, Connie. What's up with the Facebook page, Connie? Why'd she delete the Facebook page? That seems really highly suspect to me. Okay, Liz, I'll check that out. But Connie, why aren't people up in arms about it? The author, the one that the letters to Chris Watts, she had a Facebook page where she was updating them daily about the shipping of the books, and then people were getting upset about it, and then she deleted it. It's gone. You're just not what, Connie? What's the matter? It's very weird. It's like she doesn't want to be contacted by these people. Maybe they're not going to get their money back from this publisher. They'll have to file chargebacks, but still. Hey, Melly Mel. I think so, Deborah, but I think even more than that, she was probably being inundated with messages from people. Probably Tammy B. Yeah. Hi, Jeannie. The author is probably down from her lawyers. Scary that her page has no. The page is gone, Janine, on Facebook that she was communicating to them with. You heard she would never go back. Yeah, she did say that. There's a Facebook group about the book. It's highly suspect, and now, like the Watts camp is already getting, moving forward with trying to get people not to believe anything in there, and because they're still trying to, like, someone's sanctify Chris. That I don't know what they're. It's ridiculous. And is Cindy still going to go on with that book? Is she going to do it more than ever now, or has she learned she should take a step back? Hi, my wee chickadee. Something fishy about her, right, Sakura? Yeah, I feel that too. I don't know. He won't tell and will take to his grave. Exactly. And like, if he got that oxy from a bin in his basement, what would he need to take that to his grave for? right? And if he told her he was going to take it to his grave, and then that phone call that doesn't sound like his voice at all, it sounds like either someone trying to impersonate him or that they piece together things. It's very strange. But why would he have that change of heart? I'm going to take that to my grave. No, I'll make a phone call to my mom and I'll say just that. You know, come on. It's crazy. Watts family married. Don't hold your breath. Brenda, right? Hey, Helen. Yeah, Brandy, I should whisper them. Jamie told Cindy that she wants nothing to do with her book, to change her name and not to use hers. But isn't it so stupid, Jeannie? Like, everybody knows that her name is Jamie Watts. Everyone knows her face. Who is she hiding from? That's the most ridiculous thing I've seen. Oh, yeah, we believe now Chris has a sister named Sarah. Yeah. That is so, it's just ignorant. She deleted the page because people were going nuts. Right. But that says a lot, doesn't it, Izzy? You just delete the page? That's like a slap in the face to the people that just want some answers. Oh, yeah, Wyatt. Yeah, I know. All I heard is someone say about an insanity. Oh, come on. Yeah, I believe this. He's not going to get an appeal. He's not going to get out of prison. The Oxy is very odd. And now suddenly, all this stuff is, it's like the Watts are doing some cleanup, but they have the worst advisors for cleanup management. They have the absolute worst. They are given whatever their mindset is not good, and then their advisors are even worse. So you put them together, and it does the opposite of damage control. She pulled a Jacqueline sold that hairy lipstick and then delete. I missed the hairy lipstick. Did it have hair in it? What was that hairy lipstick? That sounds horrible. Or did it make people's lips hairy? Either way, it doesn't sound good. You called her out on Facebook and you asked her if she would be donating. You got no reply. Author said she would make it up to all those. Right, and then deleted the page. And I don't know how, and she wasn't going to rest until she found a resolution. I'm thinking so, Tanya. It's almost like she just wants to slip away and not leave any contact information, right? This doggy is a Maltese. She was posting, almost every day? Oh, she's staring at the cat. Oh, and don't believe anything Chris says, Candace, because he is just an absolute unbelievable liar. He also said that Oxy was found in Shanann's system, and it was not. I guess her resolution was to delete the page and leave all those people that pre-ordered High and Dry. Yeah, okay, we've got a fake wildlife. Orange is fake wildlife. Fake wildlife in the orange. Good. Great. Our wildlife is here and is in blue. How delusional the Watts family are. Yeah, that isn't right. I can't believe people want me to suffer. What does he think? People want him. He is delusional. He's even. You know what? I don't think he's delusional. I really come to think about it now. I think he's more evil than we could ever imagine. He's more evil than we could ever imagine, and he's saying those things to intentionally infuriate people. I can't believe people would want me to suffer. Yeah, that's what it is. He's more evil. He's not naive. He's not innocent. He's not a little boy. He knows exactly. He's more evil than you could ever imagine. And he's doing the same Norman Bates thing, that thing that even my lawyer said, I'm different and I would never be a danger to society. He's doing that same, look at the fly. I'm going to just let it stay there. And they're all going to look and say, she wouldn't even hurt a fly. That's exactly what he's doing. He's more evil than you could even imagine. Yeah, but he's thinking that now, saying the oxy, he did the oxy after he killed everyone to see how much to take to keep his cool. Where's he saying that now? I don't even know how. I was watching something, and then one of the videos I have on his interrogation after he took the lie detector test came on. And when they left him in the room alone, then he started playing videos of the kids. And you could hear Shanann and you could hear Cece. And he is just sitting there, just looking at them. He's not crying. He's not emotional. He could care less. Hey, Mona. It wouldn't surprise me if he gives... Oh, he will give another version. He will. He's going to be just like Christian Longo. Right. That he said, oh, I'm watching interviews. And then she said, you didn't even shed one tear. And he said, oh, sure, I didn't shed one tear. Does that mean? What does that mean? That means I didn't love them? Oh, my gosh. There's a Mike Jones. Longo's in the Oregon State Penitentiary on death row, but he's working hard on his organ donation project called GAVE. Wildlife is who? Her husband. What? Who's Wildlife's husband? Witness killed. Yeah, I heard something, Frugal Mom, so it was a drug deal gone bad? I heard something I didn't get to watch. 5'3". He's 5'3", Alma. Oh, a troll? Okay. Hi, Michelle. Chris Coleman. Yeah, Chris Coleman's another annihilator. Chris Coleman was trying to get an appeal. What was it, this past May? Their dog is with Frankie Jr. Filled with blood. Yeah. Yes, Angela. He lied too about the oxy. Your husband's laying asleep next to you. Did someone say your husband was here, Wildlife? I don't know why they pick on you, Wildlife. Hi, Sassy Darcy. And you would not believe some of... It's so stupid, isn't it, LA Lady? Oh my gosh. Oh, the troll claimed he was... Poor Wildlife. Because Wildlife's a good name. Hey, Diana. So, you just watched the movie True Story. How sad when they've done the reaction of the father throwing the children alive. Yeah. Where did you watch that, Maui Chickadee? Where was that on? What was that on? Was it on YouTube or was it on Netflix or Hulu? Where did you watch that movie? Nisi, I don't think it's good. It's definitely not good for, custom. It's like, think about that, right? How scary is that if you want customer service and they just take down the page? It's like they're running off and hiding. Delia, I ordered a bunch of vinyl today. It's on Netflix? Is it? I wonder, I thought it, is it, I wonder if it's on my Netflix. I didn't think it was. I will have so much fun. I hope I'm not going to be frustrated and stuff. Right? They said it's one of the easiest things to learn. I mean, it's not like the silhouette is like a learning curve and stuff. It's not on yours. It might be because you're in Scotland. It's not. Okay, well, Maui Chickadee's in Scotland. How did you get it, Maui Chickadee? You have it in Scotland and we don't have it here? There used to be a way, remember, to watch the Netflix in another country. There was something when Breaking Bad was on. I remember we were watching, I think it was out of Germany or something. I don't know. You watched it at 4 a.m.? Why did she live in North Dakota? What are you talking about, Aaron? Not my Netflix. Yeah, okay. It must be Maui Chickadees. Just be okay having a few things that aren't perfect immediately. There's a skill to it. Oh boy. Mike Jones was charged with 4 premeditated capital murder charges in 1 second. Why is his wife still second? Are they saying because they think he didn't premeditate her murder, he killed her and oh, come on. And then crazy. Second is the same as first in Florida. It was because of a fight. You just watched. Are those the old interviews, first last, or has she done some more? Hi, Danny. A cute stuffed animal. Yeah. I think it's because I ordered the vinyl. Let me see. Delia gave me Expressions vinyl, but then I found some of that on Amazon. Did I order everything from Amazon, Sassy? Yes, right? Yes. I bought some vinyl at Hobby Lobby, and then I ordered some more from Amazon, and I ordered more of those sticky things. You have to use those sticky, like you have to keep, it's not like they lose their stick and then you have to get new ones, right? Is that what you have to do there? Because I ordered 3 more and I get 2 with the machine. But my machine is not here yet. It says it's going to be here, I don't know. I'm really kind of, they said like by the 20th. I didn't know that it took that long. Hey, Jessica. Hi, Froggy Toad. A copy of what report? Maybe if Maui sends the link. Oh yeah, maybe. Can I hold Sassy up? Sassy's got a dirty face because Sassy puts her whole face in her dish when she eats, and she's white, and she normally has a brown mess. Your hair is tinted brown, and then she's got her lovely tear thingies. Tanya, I have an autopsy video where I read through the autopsy and explain the results. I have one on this channel myself. It's another interview. It is helpful to have new mats. You can reuse, but they lose their stickiness. True story. CW Dolls? Who has CW Dolls? The movie is playing on TNT. Really? To stick pins in it. Someone sent me a doll to stick pins in. Somebody sent me one, Tracy B, to stick pins in. True Story is definitely on Netflix. You guys, though, are not in the United States, though, Diana, and things are different. You want a CW Voodoo doll? You're doing dishes, Megan? Okay. Oh, really? Okay, I'll check it out, Hennessy. You should see the cute little music boxes. I really want to go to Walmart right now. I wish I had somebody that would just jump in the car and go with me. I wish I had a neighbor that was like that I could just say, hey, you want to go? Okay, let's go. No one would be any of the wiser because everyone is asleep. And Jimmy's not even one to get jealous. Like I swear to you, I could just go out, come back 4 or 5 in the morning, and he'd just be like, oh, okay, where'd you go? He probably wouldn't even know where I went. Oh my gosh. I guess as long as I came back with shopping bags, like that would be a great cover if you were doing something, right? No, she went to Walmart. You know, I don't know, Delia. I was trying to think that. I know New York is the one that had the tin signs, but I'm not sure that I thoroughly checked the Pennsylvania store. But then we had Gina check it, and they didn't have it in PA. So I'm not sure. Right, less traffic, less crowds. You would definitely go. I know, Tanya, right? Yeah, but the Dollar Trees are closed, but they're open in the Walmarts are open 24 hours. I'd say that must buy cute music boxes is a troll. I mean, we know you're a troll. That's pretty sad that they have to really they make up a name like that. They take the time. I know. They should have 24-hour Dollar Trees. I remember when I didn't remember exact. Clean them out of music. Did you guys see what they look like? They're the cutest little things. Let me see if I can show them to you. They are so cute. Mama Ames is going to go there and load them in her cart because she likes the vintage stuff too. Let's see. They've really I can't believe that Lisa was in there. Lisa, did they have the whole vintage section where you were? Did you find the TID sign in the store? Like, I wouldn't even mind ordering them and picking it up at the store, and it's like, oh no, it's not in stock anymore. We'll notify you if it's back in stock. Okay, Sasser, you want to go to sleep? Okay. You go to sleep. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go to sleep. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, let me see now. I have to go and hold on. They have a terrible keyword of advertising their stuff online. It doesn't, you would think vintage, retro stuff would bring it up. It doesn't. But I've got to show it to you because, and why wouldn't it? It should come right up for me because I even said notify me when it's back in stock. Hang on. Lisa, help me out. I just had it, but I got to show it to you because those of you that like vintage, you will flip out over these. I can't believe how much vintage stuff they have. It's dangerous for me. Lisa, I'm getting stressed. Oh my gosh. Lisa's probably in the chat going like, I found it. I'm just going to go back in my Walmart until I get to it because I looked at it like twice. Hold on. They're worth the wait, I promise. Oh my goodness. It must be on this page, sorry. Oh, I found it. Okay, hold on. They have 5 different styles. It's a music box. There's a little crank on the other side, and they look like little books, and they have the deer. Hold on. The deer is my, oh my gosh. I know this, I mean, this is crazy, this one. And they all play something different. Here's all of them. Look at this. They have 5 or 6. Hold on. Come on, get out of here. I'll just bring this over. It doesn't want to let me. Aren't they adorable? I know, Wildlife. It's not right that they're not having them online. They are so cute. There's a little, here. Let me see. Hold on. Where does it show you the little, see the little thingy that you wind it up? It's an old-fashioned kind of music box. $5.95, $5.95 each. Don't they bring you back? Yeah, I know, right? What do they remind us of? I think we had little books like that or something. They're so cute, aren't they? I want them all. See? Walmart should be listening to us. Walmart. You love the old-fashioned. Is that what you think they are, the lifesaver books? I don't think they're the lifesaver books. I think they're kind of almost like the little golden books or something. Did you get them all, Lisa? Don't talk to Lisa if she got them all. Don't talk to her. They need new buyers. It's the Christmas cartoon shows. You know, you think it looks like the Rudolph one, but I don't think so. I was thinking little golden books too from the 60s. They are so cute though. Don't talk to her. Look how cute they are. Block Lisa. The coloring books of 1963, is that where they're from? Make music boxes, yeah. So somebody said, how big are they, right? We're going to read all the walnuts. We should all go right now. That would be fun. They are, let me see. You see them all? In-store purchase only. In-store purchase only. Nice, right? Here's the sign. That's still available. Though Mama Ames got the snowman tin too. You want to see what Mama Ames picked up? I'll show you what you picked up. Hang on. I'll show you. Hang on. Mama Ames. Let's see. Where did you send me? Oh, and remind me about, Lisa. D. Fiero wanted to call in about the decoupage. Lisa, if you're here, send me an email or start screaming in the chat. So sorry that I missed that email. Okay, here we go. So Mama Ames told me that she got some things for herself and when she went in to look for a reindeer for me. Now remember that she already bought a reindeer sign prior to this. Look what Mama Ames has. Another reindeer sign, the tin snowman sign. Look at this little cutie she found, and this one, and another one of the snowman, 2 of the reindeer, and the vintage snowman. How cute is that? Now she's probably running for the music boxes. How come I can't get back to the chat? You are in the West. I am in the East. Okay, Lisa, that's enough now, or we're going to have to ban you. Lisa's bragging about, is that a 24-hour Walmart, Lisa? Don't think I won't drive up there. It's not that far from me. Where did you, oh, the true story? She said she watched it on Netflix, but it's Auntie Cuckoo music boxes. Oh yeah, where's Auntie Cuckoo? I wonder if she got them. Auntie Cuckoo's in Walmart like every freaking day showing me more stuff on her channel. Is she here? Auntie Cuckoo? Did you see those freaking, is Auntie Cuckoo here, or are you guys playing with me? Oh, she is here. Auntie Cuckoo, did you see those retro music boxes? You're driving home from Ross. Oh my gosh, get out of here. Really? What time is Ross open to? How could you be at Ross? What time does your Ross close? What time is it in California? 10:35? Okay. You need to see them, Auntie Coco. I'll show you what. It's unbelievable. You're going to flipping run right out to the store. And don't talk to Lisa because she's got every single one of them. These, Auntie Coco, they are so freaking cute. They are $5.95. They're music boxes. You had to make a return to IKEA? Oh, okay. They are the cutest things ever. They have 5, how many, Lisa? How many different styles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different styles. Lisa got them all. Hey, Casbat. At least 6. At least. Lisa's trying to make it that she even got more than that's even on the website. She's really trying to play with us. Get out of here. It's open till 3 in the morning? Get out. Really? We don't have Ross around here. But I can't believe it's open till 3 in the morning. I do think stores should be all open to 3 in the morning or later. Or just 24 hours would be good. You've got to get them all. We have to get all of our shopping out of the way. Going to be cutting off power. Oh, really? Got to get them all, right, Annie Coco? Cuckoo? See, I call you Coco. It's, yeah. You have a Ross closes at 9 p.m. Depends on the culture and the population size. Yeah, Delia, there's one, I shouldn't say that because when we went to see the Harlem Globetrotters in Wilkes-Barre, and oh my gosh, and Jimmy likes to say all the time, he can never admit he's wrong. He says, Wilkes-Barre. I said, it's not Wilkes-Barre. It's okay if you say Wilkes. No, it's not okay if you say Wilkes-Barre. It's Wilkes-Barre. And I said, I know it's Wilkes-Barre because I saw a Barry Manilow concert there. And Barry Manilow said, I love playing in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania because they have my name. Oh my gosh, he drives me crazy. And he'll still say Wilkes-Barre. But anyway, that's another therapy session. They have, where was I going with that? I went to a Ross over there and I actually did get, I think, the towels for my bathroom that I've never revealed. Yeah, Bergstrong. And he says it's okay. Do you understand, Delia? He will not admit it. You could have anybody, and then he'll even if he hears someone say it, because I've done that, he'll say no, but you can still say it Wilkes-Barre. You can still do that. It's still correct. Oh, there goes Sharon. She'd be a great friend to have in the back seat. You know, Carolyn, I think he could still possibly be correct. Quiet, Sharon. No ice cream. She'd be like, see? Even Sharon said so. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's too much. You saw him in concert? Yeah, I saw Old Barry in concert a few times. Look, Auntie Cuckoo, look at these. They are just too freaking adorable. Jules, even if you missed it, it's almost like that something that loops around. It'll come back again. Just stay on the ride and you'll get back to that part even if you missed it. It's kind of what it seems like over here. Central Connecticut. What is Central? I'm not good with directions. I know where Greenwich is. I have family in Greenwich. I have family in Stamford. I have... You ran to put your towels in the dryer and then you got a snack? It'll come back around. It repeats on a loop. Sharon is hella funny. Did you see the cute miniature fold-out wooden scenes? No, like little screens, like little mini screens? Okay, Lisa, I think you have to stop now. Okay? Are you kidding me? Where are they? Did you buy them? I know, she's trying to infuriate me. How big are the little music boxes? I don't know, Lisa. How big are they? Like this big? Like this big? I was like, Goodfellas. No, was it Goodfellas? Yeah. How much money you need? I don't know. About this much? Bigger? Yeah. Mastery? Why do I think you're tall? Oh, that's tiny? That's tiny, Pat? For some things, not for everything. Yes, that big. And the fold-outs are about that size, too. Did you get the fold-outs? I think it's time for a haul. Yeah. You got them too, Tracy B? You didn't buy them, but you loved the... Oh, can you find them on the website? What are they like? No, but I saw them. You made the miniature screen with popsicle sticks? Oh, did you? Good for you. Dar's cabin? It'll keep cycling around. You'll check your Walmart? Oh, are you checking it on BrickSeek? You can never go by that, though. Do you know how many times it says my Walmart is out of stock of something and it's not? Yeah, I saw that. I did see that, Lisa. That's in my walkthrough on Walmart. But I don't know where you saw the little, Sasser, what are you doing? Sassy, what are you doing? She skids across the floor. She's so light, this dog. She skids across the floor, but she can open the door to get out when she wants to go out. I didn't get him, Dar's cabin. No. Lisa did, every single one. She's sitting here taunting us. And go video. You should. You should come on live right now. How far is it from you? It's the least you could do after what you've done. With all big Christmas party? Sassy is a Maltese. She is a Maltese. Sasser. It's me. You can't chat on your name. Why? Somebody banned you? Cindy Watts. Yeah, Cindy, we are talking about you. Oh, let Cindy stay. Let Cindy stay. Don't take Cindy away. She spelled her name wrong, though. I'm surprised. I guess she's trying to be incognito. You should have let Cindy stay. Mandy's under another account? Okay. Celebrity in the house. She might have called in. We shouldn't have got rid of Cindy. You've been trying for 2 days? Your message keeps disappearing? Oh, has she been? Mandy Hall, send me your URL to your YouTube. Cindy was laughing at it, Craft. Poor little thing. Brady. Oops. I mean, oh, poor little Cindy. Oh, Cindy. That's with a lisp. Cindy Brady. Remember when Cindy was acting all full of herself and she was going off to that contest and she didn't want to study and she knew all the answers, and then I was so pissed at Cindy. I was like, come on, snap out of it, Cindy. What's wrong with you? And then all the other Brady kids were like, Dad, what's wrong with Cindy? What's wrong with Cindy? She got stage fright. I was so pissed at her. I really was. I'm like, you're going to blow it? You're not going to snap out of it? You're going to blow this thing? And it was a painful lesson that Cindy had to learn. That she got so conceited. And Greg told her, look, Cindy. It's so whacked. Oh, sorry to hear that, Victoria. What about Frankie? What happened to Frankie? Frankie just subscribed to the channel a few days ago, Janelle. But what happened to Frankie? Oh, somebody impersonated him? It was the real one that subscribed, because I know I went to the channel and had the video he made. He really did, Peggy said, yeah. Prim Proper? Oh, boy. A lot of Lisa's been taunting us about the vintage stuff at Christmas stuff and other things. But, yeah. Yeah, Delia. I think that's when when he subscribed. The next trial is going to be, it's going to be crazy. And he blocked him, yeah. But then they went back. Lisa, are you in the car yet? Oh, Jean Marie, yeah, you're talking about Michael Jones. Jay Bells, did you want to come on and talk now, or you got yourself up late for work again? Hey, Bella Mac. Well, Jean Marie, I truly believe there's more good than bad. Well, I would think that if he subscribed, Janelle, to the channel, then he could be watching. Mommy Dearest time. The playset, the Watts family playset. Can you imagine that? Comes in a little case. It's the Watts family playset. A decoupage. Yeah, that would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny. A decoupage. He might be crafty though. He's in construction. He might be crafty. He might be good with a decoupage brush. Cindy Watts, she knows things. She isn't telling us either. Thursday or Friday are better. I don't have to be out of the door so early. Mm-hmm. Does anybody want to call in and talk about the book? Does anybody in this chat have the book? There's 700 people. Does anyone have the book? I know some of you told me you ordered it. Some of you felt embarrassed and told me not to tell anyone. And some of you said you couldn't help yourselves. You never did mastery. We've never seen you before, so we're even. You're shameless, Connie. Did you get it? Connie's got it. They're not getting your pennies, Wildlife. You pre-ordered it. Still nada. Alicia? Yeah, the letters from Christopher. Save your hard-earned dollars. Yeah. You bought it. You're excited. You don't have it yet. You bought it from Walmart, Connie, you said? I also thought about the link between Longo and CW, and I think that you should look into the Neil and Twistles. Yeah, okay, I will. Thank you. We made the silence because we really do care. Yes, absolutely, Janelle. Hey. Oh, I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it, Victoria. And I don't think I said not to buy it. I just said I wasn't going to be buying it. I don't think I ever told anybody, don't you buy this book? Because I don't have the right to do that, to anyone. Just like people think I tell people that they can't watch some channel. I don't do that, but yet people keep saying that I do that, and I don't do that. So, have fun. I think it's going to be out all over the place as soon as people get it. I think you're going to find it all over. Jealous of what, Lori? Who's jealous? Yeah, Nikki. Oh, you know what I was thinking of? Anybody remember the woman? She had a drone. She used to always comment, but she came into the true crime videos, and it was like her name, she was sick with like a chronic illness, I think. And she was not in the United States. I want to say, oh gosh. She could be in New Zealand, or maybe it was Australia. Or maybe it was even Iceland. But her screen name had the name Labradors in it. I think it was Saving Labradors. I remembered her when I was flying the drone today because she would always comment. Has anyone seen her around Saving Labradors? I hope she's okay, because I know she had like a pretty Sleeping Labradors, yes. Because I know she had an illness. You saw a show that I was an ex-police officer? Actually, it was an FBI special agent. I'm just not wearing my badge. You haven't seen her? I hope she's okay. Closer? I'm pretty close. What do you mean closer? Yeah, I hope she's okay. She's a close talker. I'm pretty close. Hey, Angel Callie, how are you? So, all right. So Cindy is not happy. The Watts are not happy that this book came out. The Watts are not happy that the author is now, you see my pores, is portraying, or the closer, is portraying Chris in a way that they didn't think she was, in the way they told her not to. And the author is saying this now, that they cut off all communication with her because of that. Then people are saying, is the author sincere? Is the author not? There's some text messages between Jamie and the author that are going around. But conveniently, a lot of Jamies are either cut off or they're not there, which to any lazy boy chair detective is easy to see that they're hiding something that Jamie said. Sarah Jamie, as Cindy likes to call her. No, she likes to call her Sarah. That's good, Cindy, because nobody would know that Sarah's Jamie. You're really good going incognito. Did they expect her to lie about him? They expect her, according to her, to use their narrative. And one of the things that it seems they were trying to make her put in there, and that she said she was going to put in there, but she was going to do it in kind of a sneaky way. She didn't say sneaky. She said in a way that they're not going to know, like they're not going to know. That they're saying that Shanann had a part in it. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't trust her. She's a little shifty in the eyes to me. Shifty eyes. Oh, is that what it is, Nikki? But suddenly they've never called her Sarah ever before. And now we're Sarah. Okay. Alrighty. Shady in your book, Nisi? Because I guess she thinks, keeps her incognito. I mean, it's so stupid. Do they realize how stupid they look? I'm surprised. They should do what Prince did, like Sarah, what was the entertainer, formerly known as Prince, the sister, formerly known as Jamie. Sarah, the sister, formerly known as Jamie. Sarah Jamie just rolls off the tongue. SJ. SJ Watts. The fake Chris, the fake Chris Watts, right? Yeah, closer. I can only see one pore. This is really disturbing information. What is really disturbing information? What part of the information? Because we've given out a lot of information. Is it about the Lisa grabbing the vintage music boxes before anybody else could? Mm-hmm. Or is it, what else? What other information did we have? Cindy changing Jamie's name? We need to make a symbol for her. They do need to keep their mouths shut. I thought the information that Lisa gave us before was highly disturbing to me. Oh, the author being shady? You don't think Lisa was shady with the music boxes? A little bit shady. A little bit, kind of, right? She still even hasn't given us a correct count of how many she bought. It's highly disturbing to me. At what point is this to be expected? that Lisa does this kind of stuff. Maybe the next time I ask her about something and she comes, maybe then that we would expect it from Lisa. Mastery. That's what we call she. You missed the oh, you should go back because it was crazy. You tried explaining this today? Yeah, it's silence is golden. See, but the thing is, all these people that are trying to do damage control for Cindy are just making it worse. And now, I guarantee she's still going to go through with this book now and think that it's going to help, you know, rectify whatever in this book. And now she'll add a few chapters about her relationship with this author and how this author duped them and all this stuff, right? And then she'll cry about, why is everybody mean to me? What are they? Oh gosh. You hate when author grandma says, yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, who said that? Melly Mel? I don't think she knows the case as well as she would love to say that she does. Okay, that's why I think she was enamored by him. And it was a different reason, like she went out and contacted him. But that she believes so many of his blatant lies. And then she doesn't see a lot of the contradictions. That's like, when did I see her saying stuff? It might have been on Scott's or something. And I was just like, wait a minute, she believes that? We could get Cindy. Everyone else is doing things to them, right? Yeah, Victoria. You've all been watching and commenting for months and you couldn't see my comments. Tamra, I can see your comments. Tamra Prangle, I can see your comments. The author obviously doesn't follow the case. No, she's made a lot of she misspoke a lot. But that's nothing new. There's a lot of people on this case that don't know the discovery, that say the most absurd things. I think she saw dollar signs. Yeah, I think she was just of human compassion, human emotion too. Yeah, lying does not incite any shame in him. He feels more important when he feels noticed. Absolutely. Like we went over Longo last night, how Longo keeps trying to make himself more important. Now he's trying to give back with the organ donation project. And I'm sure Chris will probably, if he's following Longo's footsteps, maybe he'll start helping with the organ donation project. Wouldn't that be right up his alley? You say she won't write a Cindy Watts narrative. She wants facts. She takes everything Christopher said as a fact, right? Doesn't question it, doesn't challenge it. I'd say anything for a cheeseburger. And is that the cheeseburger? Like it comes out of a vending machine and then they have a microwave? They can warm it up in it? Is that what it is? Can you imagine his glee? Cheeseburgers. Can I have 2 Mountain Dews? I'll never forget if you haven't listened to Frankie Jr.'s interview, when he's talking about how Chris was eating the Bojangles and he was like inhaling the coleslaw. There wasn't enough for everyone. And he was really surprised that Chris didn't ask Shanann if she wanted the coleslaw before he ate it. And Frankie said, well, he was like inhaling that, but okay, maybe they don't get Bojangles over there, and maybe he's just, really hungry. Oh my gosh, is that what it is, Jeannie? They heat it up in a microwave, the cheeseburger? I was wondering how a vending machine gives you a cheeseburger. I don't think he's really caring about the GMOs, Lisa, I don't know. I'm sure Mommy and Daddy buy him cheeseburgers and Mountain Dews and all of that, too, on visiting day. Absolutely, Tanya. Send me an email. Hey, Leaping Lizard. He does look happy in the jail pics. I heard her say it was up to people to believe. Yeah, I love when people say that. They come out with something sensational and they're like, well, I don't know, it's up for you to believe it or not. It's like last night. The Watts are getting a McMansion in Wisconsin. But hey, it's up to you guys to know if that's true or not. I don't know. Nikki to count his macros. No, and yeah, you should listen. He says about the coleslaw. You've written 3 educational books, and you wouldn't dream of tackling this subject. I learn. I wrote education books after being approached by a publisher and being in the business 15 years. You don't want a serial killer's organs. Yeah, I wonder if they I wonder how that program would work. Would they just go into the organ registry, or would that be something totally separate and they could sign up for that registry along with the national registry? Because some people might be they don't want that. I am invisible. It's up to you. Yeah. You bought the reindeer and the snowman of the wooden vintage looking signs. Oh, you did? They had those too, Lisa? Yeah, keep taunting. The ones I feel sorry for is the little girls. It's not so scary. Good morning, Bethany. Auntie Cuckoo, where'd you go? You still in the car driving? You would think corruption would happen if the prisoner organ donation, if that's... Yeah, we're talking about Chris Longo's GAVE project. That probably we're going to hear Chris working on something like that. How much do you want to bet Chris is going to be working on something like that? Something, to right... Chris Longo says it's not to right his wrongs because that can't be done, but to end his life on a more positive note. Chris will probably say, well, this will help others, and I want to help others because I'm not a monster. I don't like people calling me a monster either. A purpose. So Chris could join hands with that, or maybe, what else could Chris do that he would think would be really good for humanity? Sounds like Cindy Watts had her hands in it. He's a dad, remember? Yeah. Good dad. Okay, let me see if Tanya, did you send me the email? Donate hair? No, his hair is, he's already receding pretty badly. Okay, I don't think he's going to be growing that hair out anytime soon. All right, let's see now. Okay. So I'm going, Tanya, to see, hang on. I got your email. Okay, I got it, Tanya. If anybody else wants to call in, just send me an email for the number. Okay, you got that, Tanya? Oh, Liz, I see that channel. I think they're the ones that have to worry about violating YouTube standards. That's whatever the sentence that is a total lie. Not true at all. Hey, Tanya. Tanya? Tanya?
Yes. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, I want to do one quick experiment. So you're going to just have to keep talking. Now listen, guys, I think I fixed the mute thing. I'm going to mute my mic, and Tanya, can you see me, Tanya?
I can.
Okay, so when I hold up my finger, that means my mic is muted. Just say like a sentence so they can see if they can hear you, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I absolutely am stuck on this case and I don't know why I can't let it go.
Okay, did you hear Tanya say that sentence? Oh, good, we fixed it. I can go on mute because that was the big problem. Sometimes good, I fixed it today. See, I was working hard.
Hey.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So now you don't have to hear the person through my mic. Okay, that's good. That's good. So what's up with it? What's on your mind today?
Well, I just normally I am such a night owl, but tonight I'm so sleepy and I'm trying to keep up and chat and like my eyes are crossing.
Oh.
But I've been listening, about this book for days, which I refuse to buy. Um, I mean, I do read the details about it when people put them out, but um, and I definitely think the author, I think writing that book, I think she was just crossing something off of maybe a bucket list or so I don't think people are going to hear much from her. I don't think there will be any other books. Um, but just some kind of observations I've had from following this case, all the way from the beginning. Um, at first, I was really surprised that somebody could fool literally everybody in their lives. And I know this is the most unpopular opinion ever. Um, but in the beginning, I really wanted to feel bad for Chris's mom. I really did. I don't feel bad for her anymore after the way that, she spoke about Shanann. And I think it is so deplorable the way that Shanann has been attacked through this whole thing. But, at first I really thought, if his coworkers and his friends and even in Shanann's videos on her, I think Facebook Live, I think is where they were. Um, there was one video in particular where you could see him over in the corner, like playing with the kids. And it was right before she went to North Carolina. And she went out on the porch and or her deck, and she was talking about how he was the best thing that ever happened to her. And how she met him when she was sick and feeling bad. Um, but it was just like a person could not be found that had anything bad to say about him. So at first I almost wondered if he had his own family fooled, and that, maybe the turmoil between Shanann and Cindy was really just him and his, when he's talking to his mom, well, Shanann did this and Shanann did that and everything's her. And, being a mom, thinking that you've just got this normal child and that they, wouldn't lie to you. And I almost now, I still kind of believe that he made his family believe that he had married a monster. I really do. I think but that in no way excuses absolutely anything that she has said, you know, about Shanann, or the way that, she treated those girls, or the way that she made any of them feel. But I think Chris is way more manipulative than I think anyone realized or gave him credit for.
Oh yeah, and I think he's much more evil than, yeah. I used to think it was a lot of night, but no, now I think he's beyond um, the evil that we thought he was.
I
He's so evil.
and I almost think that this book, um, and I'm sure there's some truth in it, and I'm sure there's some lies. I don't think he can ever tell the whole truth,
Oh no, yeah.
but to watch him, it's like no matter what anyone tells him to do, he does it. And I just kind of wonder if the author didn't, you know, oh, well, just do this, or just, tell me about that. Because
Right. Tell her what
just
she
like,
wants to hear. Right. You'll buy me another cheeseburger, and can I get another Mountain Dew? Sure.
right, just,
You
or,
know.
this is how you will get your redemption. Um, just, I think you could just about tell him anything. Um, I mean, I know they say that he has a very high IQ. I think somebody said it was like 140. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
he got to be the most intelligent moron on the planet. But I mean, even, when he was being interrogated and they were asking him, oh, did Shanann do this? And he's like, yeah, that's what happened. And then, okay, well, we need you to do this. Well, okay. And then, like, when it came to going to court and all that, like, he just gave it up really quickly. And that was probably at the advice of either, one of the attorneys. So to me, it's just like anything that he's told to do, he'll just do it, no questions asked. Whether it's true, whether it's not, I don't think truth and lies equate with him. I think he feels like as long as he's doing what he's told, that he's doing the right thing in his warped mind. But then part of me thinks that he is just this soulless, evil human being that's just continuing to say things
That's what I think
just
he
for
is.
like
Yeah. It's
shock
not. It's
value or
because
to.
it's not right. He has no. absolutely no emotion, no love for those kids. People say, well, he's a good dad. He did it. He just did what he was supposed to.
Or what he was told.
What he was told, or like what he was supposed, like if he was at the trampoline with the kids, you're supposed to be at the trampoline with the kids. You're supposed to say, yay, Cece, if she did. He knew how he was supposed to act. And
Right.
he calculated all of that just to appear as a really nice guy.
Right. And which, I've heard, I think they said Ted Bundy was a lot like that, would just, kind of went through life and didn't really have a lot of problems with people. But, that whole kind of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde personality. And I mean, I guess Chris would just fall in the category of somebody, I know the term in these cases, the term psycho and psychopath and narcissist get thrown around a lot. But I don't think he can see anything outside of himself.
Right.
I think he is like a tiny child where, in the sense that only my needs matter, nobody exists but me. It's all about me.
Yeah, but he's not naive. Like a lot of people, including myself, might have thought, oh, he was just really naive or really. It's not. He's He's so cunning that you're saying, wait a minute, he lived this life for all of this time, and he went through the motions for all of this time, and he was probably fighting these like evil tendencies.
Right, and I believe they said that, didn't someone say that he'd never even had a violent encounter with anyone?
Right, only a little scuffle at the schoolyard, but the same thing for Chris Longo, only a little scuffle in high school. And everybody said really good things about him. Now, Longo had some scamming that he did, but it was never violent. It was all about the finances. He always came across as a businessman, and people said good things. People at the church said they wished their husbands were like him. So yeah, it's
well, and Scott Peterson. I mean, that's another one. But even Scott Peterson tried to save himself. Like, I don't know, Chris just. I really felt like I had honestly expected for him to really mount that defense of Shanann did it. And people, I'm sure you read the comments too. I mean, people were believing it and, how horrible, but they really were. He had multiple Facebook groups that were just full of support for him. And, that defense may have even worked with the right jurors. But
I don't think he wanted things to come out at trial that would have, because he thought, okay, well, that's going to make me look like a bad guy.
But look at him now, though.
But see, he
like,
doesn't.
I killed him twice.
But he doesn't even. Why are they calling me a monster? But that's all. I think just games he's playing with people. Why are they trying to take away my pictures? They really want me to suffer.
Oh, that made me so sick. Like he could not differentiate. I saw the part where he said that someone had written to him,
right? That
another prison.
Yeah.
If they take, yours, and they should have to take everybody's.
Right, and then he goes, well, even if they take them, I have my and I can just see him saying like, ha ha ha, I got you people.
Well,
go ahead, take them.
But it's like he couldn't even see that comparison, though. Like, oh well, criminal A committed crimes and they have pictures of their family, and then Chris is over there, he killed his family. That's different. I mean, like, there would be a difference between him having pictures of Shanann and Bella and Cece versus him having pictures of his mom and his dad and Jamie. I don't think there would be anything wrong with him having pictures of his mom and dad and Jamie. But no, you certainly shouldn't have pictures of your victims. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like he didn't get the distinction or something. I don't know.
I think he did. See, I think he was really calculating there, thinking like all these people on social media, where he heard about this petition. and they don't want him to have his pictures. And then he wanted to make sure that, go ahead, take the pictures. You still can't take my memories. It was like a little kid, like a little kid saying,
Right.
I can say things about you in my head. You could, it was just reminding me of just like a little bratty kid, and
Right.
I think the more it's just totally evil. He knows
You
what
know,
he does. He plays naive and dumb, but he's not. He's evil. He's not
you know,
naive and dumb. He's evil.
I've kind of even wondered if he would just say anything just as long as someone will come to see him and listen to him. Um,
He loves to talk about himself, what he did, and tell me again about NASCAR school. NASCAR school. I never even knew there was a NASCAR school.
and
NASCAR
then the
school.
way that when he first went to prison, and he already had this sentence in front of him, and he was like worried about the lights or water being on at his house. Like
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
house
The
he was
sprinklers. What are
never,
they doing with the sprinklers? Because I always did this with the sprinklers.
and
Yeah.
it's like, why are you even concerned about that? Are you out of, I mean, you've got to be out of your mind. You know, it wasn't like he was waiting on a court date. I mean, it was over.
Right. Right.
And, and I realized in his mind, I do believe he thinks he'll get out one day.
Oh, he does.
Um,
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he
but,
really does, but I think he wants us to think that he does.
and would it
I
not, like, I wonder, would it not make, like, you would think where, child murderers are so, I mean, they're even considered scum within the prison system.
oh yeah.
You would, I mean, I just wonder, like, you would think somebody would be afraid to make that worse
Yeah, but
for
I
their
think he
own
did that
personal
for his own.
safety.
But I think that's why he said in the book. I don't know if this should go in the book because if it does, then they can never put me in Gen Pop because it'll be a danger. So I think it's his way of staying in that cushy little, you know,
His
part with
old
17, what is it, like 17 other prisoners that are either amputees or they are cops or something like that, and where he feels safe.
And
And
why
where
is
Mama
he getting
Watts
that
feels he's safe.
treatment? I mean, did they decide something was wrong with him, that he needed to be in?
No, that the other prisoners would want to kill him.
Okay, because see, that confused me too, because I thought he said that, I know that he was having a hard time in the first prison
Yeah, and
in
that county, that was
Colorado,
the
but
county
then,
jail. That wasn't a prison, and so
or,
they were really, really brutal there, and he was so glad to get out of there.
right, but, and then he made that place he's at now sound like, I don't know, some five-star resort.
He did, right? He's like, oh, this is so good. I hope they never move me out of here. This is,
I
and
mean,
I
it's
think
almost like he's taunting people with it. Like, oh,
he
I'm
is. I
happy
think,
here and
yeah,
I'm
no,
chilling.
I think he is. I think 100% he is. And I think his mother probably also told him, look, you don't want them to move you out of here. This book can be a good thing. Who knows if the author didn't even say that, because she put that on her Facebook page, that little excerpty thing.
Yeah,
So who knows if she didn't promise that she would put that in there to keep him in the, the high security ward that he's in, whatever you call it.
right. And did they ever actually do a legitimate psychological evaluation of him?
He says no. If you listen to
Okay.
him, he says no, they didn't.
Okay, because I heard conflicting stories about that, but they definitely should. I really feel like he is someone that should definitely be studied.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, yeah. He will be studied. I mean, he will be studied.
And, and for him to have not been with Nicole any longer than he was, and to, within 2 months, he's ready to kill his whole family.
Yeah.
And
I wonder what would have happened had Shanann not have spent all those weeks in North Carolina, you know, because he wouldn't be going, he wouldn't have the, you know, when was he going to sneak away to meet with her?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I've wondered that too. Like, well, what if he had just spent a week with Nicole, or, you know, would it have still turned out the same way? Like, was it instantaneous?
Would
I
Shanann have
mean,
found out soon? Like, what if she would have caught him immediately? Somebody would have said, I saw Chris at some place. Like, how come, you know, no one saw him? He went to this lazy dog. He was what, ever afraid that somebody might see him? Was this lazy dog in any vicinity that's one of his friends, Jeremy, or people that he worked with, or someone could have seen him with her?
in Nicole Kissinger's police interview, and I may be mistaken, but I think she said that there were two of the same, and they went to the one that was further away.
Right, yeah.
Like two places with the same name.
And other than that, they went on that darn camping trip, right? So that was kind of out of
And
there.
when they would go out to eat, he was using gift cards from
Right.
Anadarko to pay for it.
Yeah, then the hotel too, one of the hotels they stayed at, and then they went to that Shelby museum or whatever, and you know, I don't know how far that is, but I wonder what he would have said had he run into someone. Like, let's just say he ran into Nicole Atkinson and her husband at the Shelby Museum. What the heck would he have done?
He would have probably I think he would have just immediately lied. Oh, this is my coworker. You know, we're discussing work. And
yeah, they went to the movies, or at least tried, yeah.
I think he would have just lied, because I think that's just what he does. Whatever, I don't know. And his, like, he doesn't even have a desire, though, to try to save himself.
No, but I think he is. I think he is saving himself.
I
think he is doing this to save himself exactly with that book thing. Not if he didn't want to save himself, he just has to go into general pop.
Well, I mean, I don't think he wants. You know, I don't think he wants to feel pain. I don't think, you know, and I don't think he's a suicidal person. I don't think he wants to be in pain, but at the same time, you know, just the way he gave it up so easy, like, go ahead and arrest me. I don't want to put anybody through it, you know, and then just a few months late, like, he said it like he was trying to, you know, spare people any more pain. But here he is just a couple of months later. Oh, I killed him twice, and I was dragging her to, you know,
but
try
he's
to
doing that
cause
for
a miscarriage.
for a reason. He's doing that to stay out of the general population. He's going to make things worse and worse and worse.
I hope it blows up in his face. I hope they do put him in general population.
Because she would never have put that on her website. I truly believe that that was a thing that he asked her to do, or the mother asked her to do. Please put that in there so that we can use that if they ever try to move Chris and say, look, he can't go there. Look at what he wrote in this book. He can't go in there.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was intentional.
I don't know what the, you know, legal definition for insanity would be, or, you know, to be mentally unstable enough that you would have to be separated from other people. But I've just never, like, I think his behavior is what has sucked me so far into this case, just the psychology of it.
See, but like, and also when you look at Chris Longo, and I said, you know, go back in the first video, because I explained how he went through the whole, everything that's done in prison. And he was saying, look at Scott Peterson. Scott Peterson gets this. Look at this. They get that. And Chris started to do the same thing. Out in California, they can serve 25 years, is what he said, and be done. on a life sentence. I mean, he didn't realize that he has 5 and no parole, but possibility of parole, but he's not even thinking of that. And he's doing the same kind of thing. He must be, and I'm sure his parents are like, well, what about that Scott Peterson? Look, and I'm truly believe he's doing so many things Longo does. Now he's comparing, different prisons and what they're getting and when they're getting out. And if he was in Europe, then, oh boy, that he would be out, even quicker. They don't really punish you very much for murder,
Yeah.
which is true. Like in Australia, isn't it like, it's like 12 years or something.
Something. It's not nearly as much as it is here.
Yeah. And so he's like, in Europe, I'll be out, So I don't know what he's thinking.
If he
he's
thinks
thinking
he
of
will
himself.
ever see the light of day outside of a prison at this point, I mean, he would have to be insane to just think that. But I don't know, to listen to the parts that the excerpts I've heard from the book, where he talks about how he knew that was going to be the last time he tucked his kids in.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he just sounds evil.
Because he is.
I
He
mean,
is.
just not an ounce of remorse.
Nothing. Not one tear. Not one tear. Not one tear. Not one tear until, his mama talked about him and how then he cried during that sentencing.
Right. And which, I didn't really expect remorse from him, because after you watch that first interrogation video and he's sitting there
He
talking
laughing,
about
a
putting
pizza,
those
oh,
kids
pizza.
in that oil and, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take a slice of pizza. Like,
I'll
what?
have two slices because Coder brought him some and then Tammy brought him some. He ate them all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I kind of wonder how he's adjusted to life without the Thrive. I hope that's making him miserable too. But I don't know. They say, I've heard that, people who truly are psychopaths, that they will adapt to their surroundings no matter what they are. Like, that they are just fine anywhere. And they said that, and I've heard that they do well in prison, and they usually tend to follow the rules. And
he'll probably get a marry. Maybe he'll get married again. I don't know. He's got enough of a fan base that's writing to him. I mean, Longo found love again in prison. I mean, it's just
right. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, they said he was getting all kinds of letters.
Menendez, got married, right?
Charles Manson, did he get married, or was that just the trying to have a baby thing?
I'm not sure about what happened to Charles, but yeah, any of them. Look at Stephen Avery. He's no handsome guy, and he's had quite a few women wanting to marry him, right?
Well, I think those women most likely think that, he's not guilty, and, imagine that
I'm going to
next
save
lawsuit.
him, and I know where he is, and okay.
Right. So,
but
I don't know. I think if they would just let, the nephew out, I don't think anybody would even think about Stephen Avery anymore. But I have never seen anyone like Chris Watts and I followed a lot of cases over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it's because we've also seen the most of him. We haven't seen like a lot of just through the videos beforehand, his family being so out there, and all this stuff, the discovery. And I think so we've heard so much about it. Like even in this and it's just it's a lie. It's a lie.
I'm like, that's crazy too.
He lies. He lies. He also said that it was found in her system, and then he recanted that and changed his story. And even the author said he changed his story.
Right. Now, I do think he may be telling, I think he tells part of the truth, I think he probably did drug her in North Carolina, and that was probably why she was so sick. But I don't know. I think there's always a little truth mixed in with stuff that he says. I just don't think it's ever the entire truth. But, and I've heard of people that, they'll tell a few details and then later on they tell a few more just to kind of keep people coming back to talk to them, coming back to interview them. But he's just kind of put it all out there. I mean, pretty much the only thing I don't think he's talked about really has been what was between him and Nicole. But
yeah, but there's also things too. It almost sounds like he has the author doing some bidding for him, because in one of the interviews she says like, "Oh, about Nicole, yeah. Well, about the banana bread," and it almost sounds like she's giving Nicole hints on how she could email him, talk about the banana bread, then he'll know it's you. It was really weird the way she said it. Yeah, it was really weird. Did anybody else hear that and think that was really weird? Like she was giving him hints?
No, I heard that. I thought it was odd, and
about how they came on postcards in the Hawaii and the banana bread.
And didn't she also say in that Chris had thought that she would possibly write him in code?
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that she was
like
helping
she was kind
him.
of saying, he thinks you're going to write him in code.
Right. Write him on a postcard.
Bread.
Put banana bread. I think her name was, and she gave the name. And it's like, why is she saying all this? Because it didn't have anything to do with the substance of the book, really. It wasn't telling us anything. He already said that, unless she's writing to me other than the name. It seemed like she was trying to help him, that doing a favor for him. If you tell me this, I'll do that favor for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what it was all about.
I think so. Yeah, because the way she said it, she went into great detail
to get Nicole's attention.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know and I know people are kind of iffy on. I don't think she's actually in witness protection like some people say that she is.
She's not.
I think she has just gotten out of the area, probably dyed her hair, maybe even changed her name legally.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she'll pop up in a few years and write a book.
Probably, yeah.
I really do. I think once she thinks that she can write it and actually show her face again, I think she'll show up to do that too.
Yeah, Deb BC, I thought about that. She said all the women now should write to him with what the author said and put banana bread in it and be like, wink, wink,
Or write like what was it he called her? Empanada.
Yeah, an empanada. Yeah, get some stationery with this sexy empanada. Yeah.
Right, like write that on the envelope or something.
I just love empanadas, don't you? Yeah.
But I guess it has really made me. I know when did you watch that video where she was on her deck, where Shanann was on her deck?
Oh, yeah.
Talking about
when
how
she said he's the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah.
I really hope that, because where she talked about how he came into her life when she was so sick and, it was almost like he saw her as a target.
Oh, yeah. Well, they do. That's when they prey on them when they're weak.
Right. And, jump in and like, I'll make you feel better and I'll do this.
I'll count your pills out. He put her pills in the pill box. He went with her to the colonoscopy. He let her sleep on his lap when, she had, and without having to get up to go pee or anything. He just stood there. Yeah, definitely.
And then at the same time, he was probably turning around, with his family on the phone, saying horrible things. Oh, I wish I could come to dinner or whatever, but Shanann's sick. Shanann doesn't want me to. She doesn't like you all. Or, I really think he made sure, because I have been around a few narcissistic people in my life. I don't think I've been around any psychopaths, I hope, but every narcissistic person I've ever been around, it seems like you can almost see them with their significant other and how they make sure to kind of compartmentalize their lives. Like they will get them away from other people. They will get them away from, like he would get her away from her family. He got her, if you start a little bit of conflict, that would have, kept her away from his family as well. And yeah, I think there's a lot more manipulation. I think to his family, he always made himself out to be the victim. Everything was poor Chris. And I think they probably would have had no problem believing that. And
His
because
family? His family?
right, his family, yes.
His family still believes that.
Right. But
His mother said it in the book.
right. I think it stems from, instead of it just happening because of an actual argument or something with Shanann, I think Chris planted those seeds from the very beginning. I think he probably always, actively set out to make them dislike her.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he made them dislike her. I don't know if I'll follow you that much. I think they dislike. I think it just the way Cindy was. He knew they were going to dislike her, his sister, and they were going to find anything to dislike her.
Right. I agree with that. I think he's more of a subtle type of a predator, versus like your domestically violent predator.
Right. He's not, but yeah, he's not violent until he did what he did, but he wants to appear as a really nice guy, just like what he said to Coder. He had that memorized. What would people say about you if I asked them? And the way he had it, like most people would have they would think about it. There's like a job interview, like, what's the 3 words to describe, and people, he just went through this paragraph without even thinking about it. Like he had it, it's already there. And he thought, well, this is how people will describe me. And just said it and repeated it again, the exact same way. And that's just crazy.
He seemed to say everything like that. And I mean, I think he's a little more methodical than, a lot of people have given him credit for. I honestly believe that he has done a lot of really, even before he became physically violent, I think he did a lot of things that were, mentally or emotionally violent or mentally or emotionally predatory. Like even I can't remember his name, but the friend of his that also had such awful things to say about Shanann. Just somebody he talked to.
Mark.
Right. Yeah, that was him. And, the only thing he really knew about her was what he'd heard from Chris.
Right. Oh, and what he heard from Cindy. And he happened to believe that, even though he met Shanann, that guy was hoo-hoo. Even though they said, you met her? Yeah, I did. Did she ever treat Chris badly in front of you? No. How did you feel about her? He goes, I thought she seemed really nice. But then, Cindy was telling me something else, so I had to believe Cindy. And I'm just like, wow, Mark, you sound like a real winner.
Right. But
But
yeah, I really do. I think he, on the surface, like to look at the videos and stuff, it definitely looked like Shanann had the more outspoken personality, and more like she wore the pants.
She definitely wore the pants. Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I think, I think there was more manipulation there. because, even the way that she would describe him.
Right. He tried to appear as naive, but if you just think about, if go back and play that the police interview, where he says, "What will people say about you?" and just listen to what Chris says about himself, and think about if someone asked you. First of all, most people are very humble, and to say the string of compliments that he did and have it like that, you'd be like, And most people have emotions, so they'd be like, well, I'd like to think that people would say, I've tried to help people, or they wouldn't just rattle off what he did like he was reading it out of a book, and
Right.
it was just one compliment after the other, and he never felt like, he was not humble at all. It was something that would sound extremely conceited, but and he just said it again. So.
Well, and people that talked about him, friends, coworkers, neighbors, they would go on and say how, what was it that, he kind of kept to himself. He was quiet, but if anyone needed anything, he'd be right there. And, I just think people like that, he probably kept quiet and kept to himself because, he probably knows and has known all along what kind of person he is. And, if you put yourself out there, somebody might see it. They might pick up on it that you're not who you're trying to pretend to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. He just, it all just makes me sick. But yeah, I really and truly believe that he was a lot more predatory than what it first appeared like. And honestly, at first, I'm sorry, excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cold.
Sorry.
When it first happened, I honestly, I never doubted that he was the one that killed everyone. And I'm not usually an immediately judgmental person, but that interview that he gave, he was smiling, or trying not to smile or something, but it was just like he didn't care. And anybody that's got kids, and that feeling of like you're in Walmart and you turn around and you don't see them for a split second, that instantaneous panic.
Absolutely.
And he's just all, everybody's gone, whatever. So, I immediately thought something was wrong. Then, once they found out that they were deceased, I never had a doubt in my mind that he was the one that killed them all. But
Marguerite, one second, Tanya. Marguerite, who are you talking about? Who are you talking about, Marguerite? Why don't you come on the line and say it to my face? Because I'd like you to. Or get the heck out of the chat. I'm sorry. I was just seeing her comments, and I've just had it with her. Okay. I'm sorry.
I can't see the chat.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, his behavior, it was just strange and it was off. And I don't know. And why someone like that, he could have just gotten a divorce. And I know, people like Scott Peterson could have done the same thing, but they don't, because it's like they just want to erase this whole section of their life to make room for something else.
Yeah.
And
that's what they want, a new life. And that's exactly what Longo said. He wanted a restart, a redo. A redo. They think they can just redo by getting rid of people, by murdering their wife and children, and it's okay. Because they just want to redo.
Right. But then at the same time, you're kind of wondering, like, did he actually ever really think he was going to get away with that? Like, did he, in his mind, did he really think, oh, I'll just, get rid of my family and then, me and Nicole will just live happily ever after? I,
Yeah, Connie, there was life insurance on them. I think I think Shanann had some from her ex-husband, and then I think there were some work policies that he had. He says something in the interview, but he really didn't know much. Now, whether he was playing dumb or not, but it seemed like Shanann had policies from when she was married to her ex-husband that carried over. He does mention it in one of the interviews.
but originally, my original thought was that she had found out, about another woman, came back from her trip and they got in an argument and it was more of a snapped kind of thing. Like, oh no, I'm busted, and an argument ensued and it just turned violent. But yeah, so that was the part that I was really wrong about. But now I am baffled by the fact that he was willing to have those letters put into a book. And I think I'm even more surprised that, because didn't Cindy write a letter to the author kind of encouraging the book, or Chris wants you to write this book?
Yeah, she called her. They were talking with the author, both Cindy and Jamie. And
See,
Jamie
I'm
was
surprised
texting.
Cindy would have, I would have thought she would have been like, don't open your mouth unless, or, don't send,
No,
if you're going to
she thought
send
it was
her
going to be a
anything.
good book. She thought it was going to show that Shanann was the cause of everything, that Chris was a good guy, or he had a demon
I guess I
possess
just got the
him.
feeling that Cindy would have tried to I feel like she would have tried to have interfered more, like, oh, don't send anything to her, send it to me and let me read it first, and then I'll send it on to her.
She did, though. She did. And then she wanted the narrative, don't write it this way. I don't want it. You said you were going to write it this way. And then, then they had nothing to do with her. And now they're on this damage control where they're putting out her, her PR people are Mel and Kel, and Kel is like real careful, so she flies under the radar. And then they've latched on to a creator who's going out and being the PR for this family, which not doing them any favors at all. I don't know, when Mel was on Team Phoenix and I was trying to ask her some questions, as soon as I asked her some questions, she said, oops, I have to go, and she got right off. Okay, and she hasn't gone on this other creator's show to say anything about it, but she had this creator, I'm sure Jamie and Cindy, create something where they show a select portion of texts, and to make it look like, it fits their narrative. But anybody can see that a good portion of Jamie's texts are missing. And so, yeah, it proves nothing. It proves more that the author is saying what she's saying is the truth, and I don't even believe the author entirely. I think everybody is shifty there.
Right. I think they're all shady. I think the author just wanted some money. And I mean, maybe she'd had a dream of writing a book one day, and then an opportunity presented itself. She came in there like the sweet Christian grandmother that wanted to help
that's
him
what
write
the
all
Watts
out.
are saying. Yeah, that she listen. This is what it is. That the author took advantage of their denial and said she was a good Christian writer, and this was going to help him. You see, their denial.
Right.
The PR admitting that they are in denial. They are in denial of what Chris did and what he is.
Honestly, I think his family just needs to stop. Like, they need to stop talking about it at all. They're not going to make him look better. If anything, they're just going to make him look worse.
Yeah, and they don't realize
he could actually look worse.
They don't realize it yet.
And
Because they
I
think
just
you have them
don't think,
fooled.
like, you just can't spin that. You can't take what he wrote, what he said, what he did, and make it into anything that's not horrendous.
Right. They want, like, it's a demon possession. It's not him. A demon came inside. He was possessed. The demon is gone now. Chris is good. That's what they want to believe. And that I think his mother is still believing that Shanann killed the girls.
Right? And, like I said, in the beginning, I really did, almost want to feel bad for, um, because he apparently wasn't any kind of a troublemaker, wasn't, beforehand violent, and seemed to be very much like a mommy's boy. And a daddy's boy too, I guess. Just kind of what they would have considered like the good kid. And, and I mean, I've got kids. I couldn't imagine hearing that one of my kids had done something like
Right.
that.
And the natural
I
thing
mean,
is to be like, not my kid, right?
I
Oh my
would
gosh, not my
definitely,
kid.
I would definitely be in denial at first because I'd be like, there's no way.
But she would have had, okay, what she did. Okay, anybody could say, "Wow, I'm sure that mother, let's just say that mother didn't want her son or daughter to go and do that thing." But then you don't get on there after you know what your son did, after all the facts are out. He takes the plea deal and go on media and bash your daughter-in-law that your son
Right.
killed. That was
They,
mistake number one, but she didn't learn from it. She did a
right.
number of interviews, and then she still didn't stop. And then she made it sound like her PR people were saying she was, because I was getting messages, were making it sound like she was sorry. And that was a big mistake. But Cindy didn't really believe that, because if she did, she would have never written that book.
Right. Well, that one of the interview that she did, where I mean, you could just hear the disdain she had for Shanann in her. You could hear it in her voice,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
yeah.
that was where my attempt to sympathize with her came to a halt because
She's still talking about the stupid joke they
you know,
played about and making it into something so sinister. Why would she tell us she was 40 years old? Why would they
right?
do this?
What was that?
What only evil people would do that? Play jokes? Oh, that's
No,
horrible.
evil people strangle
Yeah.
people and put children in oil tanks and.
Every little
But
thing she hung on to, you know.
I mean, and it was every little teeny tiny thing. But when she, came out and was talking, like I said, I mean, I could understand the denial, I could understand the disbelief, but to speak that way about
the boathouse,
a deceit, about somebody that had been part of your family that had been brutally murdered. And, there was no way at that point I could have an ounce of sympathy for her,
right,
and
after all this
to
time,
think
if
of the
she had
pain
just
that was
stopped.
causing to
Just stopped.
Shanann's family.
They don't care. They don't. I don't think they care. Really, they're all about. She's a narcissist. It's all about her and her image, and they can say they're Christian and this and that and such good people, but they're not. Chris said
No.
himself, and he's supposed to be this good Christian right now that's quoting the scripture. Well, I think he needs to go and look at the forgiveness scripture, because he said to Coder, I don't think my mom and my sister could ever forgive Shanann, because, once they had that ice cream incident, that was never going to work out again. They would never, ever be able to forgive her.
Right.
So,
and I heard there was a thing that Shanann had said, also telling Chris the times that she would tell him that his mom needed to treat him and the girls better. So that made, and to listen to his parents, I feel like they probably babied him all of his life. So that,
Sarah Jamie was the mother's golden child.
oh,
Even
okay.
though she was supposedly a bigger handful, a rebel, she was running away from home, coming back, got married, got divorced, like in the split second after they spent their life savings on the wedding. But still, the
Right.
mother favored her. She was the golden child, even though she was a troublemaker.
Right. But Shanann saying that to Chris, it just made me think that, he had been doing that whole, oh, well, I'm going to go to my wife and make my parents sound like they mistreat me. And then I'm going to go to my parents and make them sound like my wife mistreats me. So that way I can just keep everybody away from each other. And I wonder, was it his idea or hers to move to Colorado?
Well, they went out there and they visited friends, and then they both seemed to like the area and decided to go. Though, if you listen to Cindy's version, it was all Shanann's idea to move out there. And that Chris had a great job, that she made him leave, and, it was all of her idea. But it doesn't appear that way from, the real account of it.
Well, and like that, that video that he had made probably, gosh, what, like 10 years ago?
The relationship video.
Right, where he mentions in there, like, to save a marriage, a couple might try to have a baby.
And isn't that the number one thing they tell you in every book? Don't have a baby to try and save your marriage.
Right,
like number one thing not to do.
Easier. They do not make anything easier. They're not going to make your relationship better. But then now he's saying that, it was his, or something in those text messages where she was talking about how, it was his idea for them to have another baby. And he had said somewhere that, I can't remember if it was in this latest bunch of stuff he was saying or the previous bunch of things he was saying, but somewhere in there, he said that, he had thought them having a baby would fix everything. So, I thought that was...
the climate was conducive to her health too, but I think they probably also wanted to get away, and Chris too. I mean, he, I believe, in one of his interviews, he is the one that says, we came out here to visit friends and we like the area. He doesn't say, Shanann twisted my arm, I didn't want to move out here. They both made the decision to do it.
But I do bet that's what he told his parents. I guarantee he told his mom, well, I don't really want to go. But
okay, Mary Nuttall. Okay, I'm just thank you, Mary Nuttall. You go ahead, Tanya.
Oh, I was just saying, I bet, that's probably what he did tell his mom or his dad, that, oh, well, I really don't want to leave, but Shanann wants to. She wants to do. I think it was very important to him. I think it's still important to him for him to look like a victim. Like somebody was always doing something to him. And depending on who he was talking to, whoever he wasn't talking to was the one trying to do something to him. And which that's pretty common narcissistic behavior. You're always the victim. Everybody's always after you. But no, and I know there's been rumors going around that Cindy was writing a book, and I hope she doesn't.
She is writing a book.
I hope nobody will publish it.
Were you here when we read when I read from it and summarized it?
Oh, no, I must have missed it.
Yeah, you should go back and hear her book. We went through the first 5 chapters.
Oh yeah, I will have to do that.
Yeah,
because I know I caught an article about it somewhere, and then, but I don't know. I hadn't really heard anything further. So I didn't know, but
she says right in the very beginning, It's like a little, you can imagine the music that plays. She says Chris was the perfect child. He was perfect, never gave them a minute of trouble, not a minute. And he grew up into this upstanding young man, and then he met Shanann.
Right. Yeah.
That's how it goes. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. You're running through the house.
I am running through the house, yes. Trying to get to a suitable background because my kitchen isn't as posh as yours.
Oh, mine's a mess now, but I don't care anymore, so I come on with it a mess.
Hang on, I'll just put the light on. So what's his problem? Many.
What's up with Watts?
What's up with Watts? I agree with much of what you're saying. I think we're now starting to see the true Christopher Watts, the psychopath that was there all along. I think he'll continue to play games.
You have a deer behind your head.
I do. I've got deers on my wallpaper.
Oh, very nice. You need that deer on a little shelf over there.
I do, yes. So, well, I quite like the deer. I have bedding with deers on as well.
Oh, do you? Oh, then you really do need it. Yeah.
Yes.
You guys don't have Walmart over there?
No, we have Asda.
Oh.
Which is a subsidiary of Walmart.
Okay. But at least it's got everything anyway.
It doesn't look as good as your Walmart though. It hasn't got all the things that you've got. We've got like quite a lot of limited kitchen range and like seasonal decor and Halloween stuff at the moment, but nothing like I'm saying.
The Americans, they're into excess everything, right? We overbuy everything. We're not minimalists at all. We just want more and more and more stuff. It's gonna help us, that stuff. Okay. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, feel free to say whatever you want. It's your channel. But yeah, I think with Watts, he's becoming horribly more interesting because we're seeing who he really is now. He's saying things to exacerbate and make his crime more horrific and more notorious. I think you're right. He is trying to save his own skin. And I think the problem was the previous caller was saying that she didn't understand why he gave it up so easily. And I think it's because he was so busy trying to be seen as a nice guy. His self-preservation came secondary to that because he's done it all his life. It's very important that he's perceived as this lovely guy who would never do anything wrong and, that he's liked. And this is the same reason when Tammy and Graham went back into the prison, they treated him like an old friend and took him Gatorade because that's what he's expecting.
Powerade. They didn't even go for the Gatorade. They got the 99-cent Powerade. Yeah.
Just the cheap stuff. Yes. Oh yes, we've got Powerade here as well. Horrendous stuff. It's like flavored water, isn't it? It's anyway. But yeah, I think that's what it was. It was he's all of his life he's played this act. And I think when he's around people who care about him, it's easy for him to get away with it. But when he was exposed to the world because he was telling people his family were missing on his front porch, we all thought, hang on a minute, he's lying. And I think it was because he's amongst people like his mother, who he can clearly tell his mother anything and she'll say it's true.
Right. And you know what? One second. If you like Casbat, she's here. She has her own channel. She was 1100, 1182 here. You should go check her out and subscribe to her channel. Can someone put up the link for Casbat's channel? Because she has some good videos on there. She has J-Bells on the last one that I just caught up with today. You should check her out.
She was fab.
There you go. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Just doing some promotion.
No, you're right. It's she was absolutely fab. J-Bells, it's worth watching just for J-Bells. She's on the last 5 minutes if you want to skip past my rambling. But yeah, effectively, I was just saying the same thing there, that he's becoming. There is a comparison to be made with Brady. Leaping Lizard actually pointed this out in a jesting way earlier, which is correct in the respect that his story kept changing and he kept himself in the public eye. But the sad news is, if we are to expect the same behaviour from Chris as we got from Ian Brady, then he's never going to tell the truth, and he will take the truth to the grave with him, because that's what Brady did.
I believe the same way with Longo. I think that they just do that. And Jay Bells was saying the same thing. It's just going to get more grotesque each confession, and you'll never know the truth. You'll never know it.
Nope. I don't think we ever will. And for that reason, he will keep himself popular, because there's no way around it. You can try and ignore it, but from a true crime standpoint, it's interesting to us because we want to learn from his behavior.
How to avoid them, how to avoid people like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think as long as he's there and he can get people to come in and see him and baby him and listen to him, he'll say anything.
Buying cheeseburgers.
There is that, but unfortunately, it's going to be a necessary evil in the respect that forensic psychology, you've said yourself, Tonya, that it needs to be studied. And the reason for that is so we can prevent future Chris Watts. That's the whole ethos behind that we can try. I don't know how we would have seen it coming, but I can't help but think once somebody delves deeper into Christopher's past and his relationship with his family, possibly his school records, that there will be some signs there that we don't see at the moment, but they will become clear as time goes on.
Now, wasn't there someone, and you ladies correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there someone when he was in college or the technical school that he went to, didn't someone near there go missing or turn up murdered or something? That I know for a moment.
Who is it? Who did you say? What was the name? Who?
I don't think she knows the name of it.
I don't know the name.
But what I mean, what did you? I missed the first part when you what'd you say?
There was something that came out towards the beginning that when Chris was in college or technical school or whatever kind of school he went to, that someone in that area.
Disappeared?
A girl disappeared.
Yeah. That was on like a conspiracy kind of thing. I don't think he had anything to do with that. Yeah.
I wonder if there's any other, because for somebody to be that narcissistic, that depraved, and he's probably been that way for a long time.
Well, I
just wonder if there's more skeletons in his closet.
Well, it's possible, but a lot of family annihilators go their whole lives without doing anything wrong. There's little bits and pieces, but there's nothing significant. I don't believe he's gone ahead with murder before, because if he had, he would have been caught. But I'd be interested to hear anybody's perspective who thinks he has and hear why they think that, because it's not beyond the realms of possibility. It's just unlikely.
But I think why they don't do that, Casbat, I think it's because they want a reset of their life. And that girl, if he was with that girl, she's not causing him to have not have a reset of his life, but his family is, and Longo's family was, and I think that's why. It's because
it's the same with Josh. Josh Powell did it as well. Powell.
It's because their family is there, and they just have to do the reset, and that's what it is. Those other people aren't bothering them. They're not really serial killers at all. They're family annihilators, because they're just going to take care of the family. They're not going on just killing random strangers or
Do you think it would just be the family, or do you think it's just anyone that gets in the way of what they want?
Here, let's see. J. Bell says it's not a propensity to murder or commit the act of murder. It's taking out an obstacle, their family. See, so that's the obstacle. So it would be any obstacle to them starting a new life, which would normally be their family.
Right. Like, I don't know, it kind of makes me wonder if, he'd been up for a promotion or something. Would he, with that same personality, go
take
kill
that
their
person
competition?
out, kill it. I don't know, but like if you look at Longo, he didn't commit murders before, right? If you look at Jeffrey McDonald, he didn't commit anything before that. Even Michael Peterson, Scott Peterson. So it looks like they're concentrating on that family, because other people like that they're not married to, or they didn't have children, they're not the father of. They can get rid of people like that just by getting away from them. So I think it's just
I wonder, it makes me wonder why, um, you know, where they don't seem to have any actual human emotion or, any real attachment. How do they all of a sudden get so attached to like this other person?
Oh, you mean like
the way
Nicole?
Chris got attached to Nicole so quickly, and then all of a sudden,
Because I think she represented a lot of things to him. He probably can definitely experience pleasure in his intimate activities with her, but also, yeah, saying it as nicely as possible. But she also represented freedom from having to take care of his kids, to put on those rain machines every night, to do all that stuff that he had to do. Freedom just to get out there and do what he wanted. Somebody that was, he's so narcissistic too. So she was, that beginning of that relationship and that euphoria where they're so into you. Like, what? Oh, what, Chris? What did you do? You know how that is, right? Now, he's into the marriage where he's not getting that. So that was just so mind-blowing to him. Plus, he was all alone, and he needed someone to help him figure out what to do. And she probably organized the things. We're going to go to the Shelby Museum. We're going to do this. And so he started to rely on her as his guide through what they were going to do.
Right. Which, and I guess the same could be said, like with Scott Peterson. He and Amber hadn't been together, very
Lacey.
long.
Lacey, you mean, right?
No, him and Amber before he killed
Amber
Lacey.
Fry. Okay, yeah, I'm
Right.
So yeah, but Amber, she didn't know anything, and then they went to the Christmas party, and yeah, it wasn't very long, but he was enamored by her, of course, and his wife was pregnant, and he probably wasn't having the greatest intimate life that he wanted with his pregnant wife, who maybe didn't feel good at the last minute, and this one, is doing everything under the sun with him. So
well,
yeah.
and I think with him though, there was the thought of having to be, that father figure, and
right, all that responsibility,
and the money if he got divorced, because he definitely liked his money, and he probably did not want to pay spousal support, child support.
Well, I agree with you. If you don't feel any real emotion to the extent that you're having to Google how to tell somebody how you love them or how you feel when you're in love, I think the reason that he Googled that was because when they haven't got when you're married with somebody or you're in a long-term relationship with somebody, you have, obviously, anybody who has been knows that love changes. At the beginning, it's all hearts and flowers, and it's all, twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Right, in any relationship, right? That infatuation, right? Yeah, and that causes a lot of people to stray.
I think once you get past that into that deeper love, because you've got somebody who doesn't feel any emotion, they don't see it as love anymore, because they're not feeling anything physical.
Right, right. No excitement. They need that excitement because they don't have anything. They don't feel anything for their kids. Their kids are probably more or less just a chore to them.
And I think that's why he was repeating what he did for the kids.
Yeah.
Because it was resentment. Like, I put the bubble machine on, they throw chicken nuggets at me, and it was all, it just smacks as resentment of this is what I had to do every day. I'm such a sacrificer. Poor little me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a martyr.
Oh, yeah.
Right, or like when he had to go clean the basement, and he said on that video, we're going to clean the basement, yay, or something like that, right, on one of Shanann's videos. And then he told the guy, Jeremy, like, that he wasn't allowed to go somewhere until he finished cleaning the basement. Yeah, that Jeremy guy, yeah.
Yeah, and that book that was written, like I said, I personally wouldn't purchase a copy of it, but I hope, if nothing else, it serves to shut up all of the people that thought she did something, that she hurt the girls, or that, still hung on to thinking there was an ounce of truth to that.
Right, but I think those people, that believe that, nothing is going to convince them that she didn't. They're always going to say, I think Cindy still believes that. And people have said Cindy still believes that, though she knows not to say that too much in the public. But yeah.
Right. And she
So,
probably does. I have no doubt she still believes that. But I
I
don't
think she
know.
still believes the original confession, and her argument will be that he was pressured into confessing to things he hadn't done.
right. And he was so upset, and he tried to cover up for her. He should have called 911, but he was just, oh, she what she did to him, you know. So it's her version of what she has to, her reality that she lives in.
That she needs to stop attacking the victims in this
Right.
case. She needs to stop. She really should have got some decent PR. And it's just that family will never have peace now. And I can't ever see her having a change of heart. She's clearly always been the matriarch in that piece. And people just seem to do as she tells them within that environment.
And you know what I thought about today? Like, she's, you know, like, poor her, she lost her son, is what she says. But she never saw him much anyway, right?
No.
She saw him twice a year. They didn't even go out for Christmas. Like, they weren't there. It wasn't like, is your family coming for Christmas, or we going back to North Carolina? They stayed in Colorado. And
according to her, that was Shanann's fault too.
Oh, well, of course.
yeah.
You know, it couldn't be her fault.
Right,
No.
but if let's just say if they're the in-laws, right, and they really wanted to see them, why not send them all plane tickets
Indeed.
to come back
Well,
in, right?
even when
If
Chris
you really
went
wanted to
round-
see your grandkids, or you would go out there, you'd go out there and see your grandkids more than twice a year if you really wanted to. It doesn't sound like she was so much in his life as it was, you know.
That's
so
when he travelled down there and they left the note on the door for him.
yeah,
Because they were in a huff with Shanann.
right. It's just, you know, they're acting like, you know,
bizarre
they live next
behaviour.
door, and
Yeah.
she
It's
wasn't
bizarre
even-
behaviour. You just don't do that. I've never seen anything quite like the Watts family. They do things and you think, what are you doing? Like not going to the wedding? What are you doing?
Yeah. That's so crazy. And then, you know, Mel had told me, okay, when I said them not going to the wedding, and she said, because she said to me that, oh, Cindy would have gone if Chris would have just called.
That's
And I'm
not
like-
up. It's not up to It's not up to Chris to call her.
I'm like, but she missed her son's wedding, Mel. Do you understand this? She missed her son's wedding. Who was she spiting? And I know she feels terrible about it. But you know, in-laws, that's what Mel always says. In-laws, you know? Oh, come on.
No. Not in-laws.
But your
no,
wedding
that's
is a pretty bad thing. I know people that like hated the people their kids were marrying and went to the wedding. You know what I mean? Sucked it
Yep.
up and went to the wedding. Oh my gosh.
You have to ask yourself that question. That's your child. This is the person they've chosen to be with, for better or worse, quite literally. And
Right.
are you going to miss that day? That was the most massive example of cutting your nose off to spite your face. I've
Yeah,
ever
I mean,
seen.
He
she
was
really loves her
probably-
son, and she's not there. She loves her son so much, and she does this to him, knowing the stress. But she was loving the stress that it was putting on him. She wanted him to call the wedding off.
Yes,
Well,
did.
she was probably very much one of those, it's me or it's her. Like, you have to pick. And if he wasn't going to pick her, then she just wasn't going to have anything to do with any of them.
Yeah, because I mean, there are little spats. Like I know I was only 6 months old when my brother got married, my oldest brother, and my mother. You know, but there's a story that's passed down that his wife. My brother was a captain in the Army, and he was going to law school, and he wanted to wear his uniform to his wedding, right? And his wife said emphatically, no, you're not going to wear the uniform to the wedding. And so at first my mother was like, why won't she let you wear the uniform to the wedding? Well, he couldn't wear the uniform to the wedding because this is right when Vietnam was going on, okay? And he served during that time. So she said no, because her brother, okay, who was also an attorney, he was 4F. So that would be, she said, very insulting to her parents, they were a doctor and a nurse, her parents. And my mother was like, my mother couldn't get past this, that my brother couldn't wear the uniform that he wanted to because it would insult her brother. And this went on for a long time. But my parents went to the wedding. Everybody went to the wedding. Everybody got along. But this was still something that was, but my mother kept it like under the skin, and like everybody knew it, but it didn't, I mean, you got over it, and it's just like a little thing. But it's, you've got to just accept it and go on. And things like that happen. There's all kinds of things that happens when people are getting married that you might not like with your child significant other, but you just got to kind of sweep it under and go to the wedding.
Oh, there's always the little drama at weddings. You can't please everybody all the time. It's impossible. You're always going to have a little bit of hassle. I mean, we had the same with our date for our wedding because people were on holiday, and we had to rearrange everything to try and please. And then at the end, we just went, you know what? If they're there, they're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, it's just it's there's always something. I mean, but
it just seems like
you just got to suck it up.
Point, after everything that's came out, that even if Cindy wants to hang on to her delusions for the rest of her life, that she would just shut up about them and just sit and be delusional by herself without. I mean, I don't know. I don't think she has a lot of humanity in her either, because she was talking about, how she wasn't going to be able to hug her son. Well,
right.
What about
hold
the
him
Rusacks?
No, she said hold him in comfort. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What about the Rusacks,
what
right?
about the Rusacks?
And she can hug her son because he's
she
not
can
behind a
call him,
wall.
She can hug him. She can talk to him.
The
she
author
can write
hugged
him
him.
letters, like whatever. I mean, she can't physically take him out of the prison and take him home with her, but she can be there every week.
I wonder how many times Cindy herself has gone to see him in prison.
I believe it's one, isn't it? I think she's just went once.
I think that's really hard for her because it's like a reality that she doesn't want to see, you know what I mean? That her son is there and he's treated like a criminal because she doesn't have that mentality that he is. So I think it's really hard for her to go there and see that. It's easier to talk to him on the phone and, think that, I don't know, he's at the prison. He got an executive position over there. Thank you, Sybil. I don't know. I really think so. I think just seeing him, it's too hard, and especially in shackles or, it's too difficult.
She's definitely digging deep to get the delusions. So, she may have told herself that.
Or have someone say, okay, that's it. That hug is long enough. Like she doesn't want, it shouldn't be that way. And that's too hard for her.
Well, it's
somebody who's quite controlling. Yeah, exactly. There you go. It's a control thing. She can't control that situation. She has no say. She's less important than she is in a little house there.
She can only come in when they say she can. She has to leave when they say leave, and
they got to frisk her down and
right.
What a thought.
They can't even bring a cell phone in. Chris said he can't even watch videos on the phone with them.
And
nor should he be allowed to.
Didn't the author of that book say that she tried to contact Shanann's family?
Yes, through the lawyer, and the lawyer got back to her and said that they don't want any part of the book.
And that's fair.
I can't imagine that they would. I have never, and like I said, I've watched a lot of cases, and I have never seen a victim and their family dragged through the mud the way that she was.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so uncalled for on every level.
And Mel and Kel were in the groups that were doing it, and that were doing it about Sandra and Frankie, and saying they were money hungry and they wanted more money. And did you see the GoFundMe? And did you see this? And now they have this. And why? Yeah, they were horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now people are flip-flopping.
Oh, yeah.
And, anybody with any common sense should just be going, get away. Shut up.
And they're showing screenshots of other people, and I'm like, I'd love to see some of those screenshots come up of theirs. It's like,
Yeah.
or that whole thing. She's going to be beaten to a pulp. I mean, they just, oh my gosh, all the
I
stuff they
think once
said.
you've seen and heard what these people have said, it stays with you. And much like Chris Watts, yes, you will be judged for that action for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's
Whenever
just,
they say, "Oh, you're a nice person now because you've changed your mind," have you really, or are you just doing what's best for you at the time?
yeah,
But
it's just,
he
it's
still
convenient.
doesn't even feel bad about it. So
No, he doesn't feel bad
so
about
I'm
it.
I'm not buying the jailhouse religion one
No.
bit.
Oh no.
There's no remorse there, and
He wouldn't lie if he was really, truly, right? He wouldn't lie, and he's still
Right.
lying. So,
and the humanity would have to hit him of what he did. Like he would actually have to accept what he did. And at this point, he doesn't even think he deserves to be in prison in his cushy little
right,
13
he'd
people
do
pod.
better as a chaplain,
Right. He
an ordained minister.
And-
Can you even imagine that? Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, yeah. Oh,
So is the Cookie Monster, that guy I covered with the puppets.
yeah.
He's an ordained minister in prison.
Oh, is it?
Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. That's so
You only,
crazy.
you only killed 7 women, God is forgiving. But that's what Chris Watts says, like the forgiveness that he's had from God.
Right, right.
Well, somehow I doubt that. No God that I've ever heard of would forgive you for what you've done.
Well, I mean, don't you have to be sorry first?
Well, yes.
Yeah, you have to confess your sins and repent. Yes.
I mean, that's pretty across the board with every religion I've ever been exposed to. I mean, you actually have to acknowledge that you have done something wrong, and he's just not there. I don't think he'll ever be there.
No,
I think he's incapable of it.
I don't think he understands human emotion. I mean, I think he mimics it and, maybe stays quiet, keeps away from people to try not to show it to anyone, or maybe he doesn't want anyone to see that he's different. But yeah, he has absolutely no emotion, and and he even thinks he has the right to those pictures.
Right.
And then talks about those, oh, well, I dreamed about Cece and I hope they all come visit me. Like, what? I hope they haunt you.
But I think he's taunting too with those things that he says. Like he's trying to say, like, my kids don't hate me. They're here dancing, in the cell, and you can't take that away from me. I can still have my dreams. I can have my dreams. And I think it's just his way to taunt people. I really do, because he's really a sick person.
He
Sick,
is.
And Jay Bell says he's practically writing the screenplay with the disclosure of the gruesome details. Yeah, and the dreams, right?
Yep. He is, and it's what else did he say? He said something in prison, and people were questioning what it was, and I think it was to get at Nicole Kessinger, and I can't remember what it was. But he plays little games with her as well, so it's she's not immune, because he doesn't really love her either. He might have been obsessed, but he doesn't love her because he's not capable of love.
Right. And
I mean, I guess you were right in what you said earlier, just the physical feeling versus any kind of emotional feeling.
Right. It was
And
just,
I think that's what it is. He thinks he didn't love her, or he says he loves her because that's what he's supposed to say. But I don't think he loved Nikki either, because he doesn't know what that is. That's why he Googled it. And it's the sexual part that was the buzz, like in that first being adored part, and he would have loved that, of course.
Was there any woman in his, or any girlfriend in his life prior to Shanann?
We say again, this is something we don't know about. They say there was nobody like significant. But this is something that over time people will find out. So that's part of his past that's kind of missing.
Yeah, he says he didn't have
odd,
many girlfriends, and I mean, okay, that doesn't have to, I mean, he was married at what, 25? It doesn't have to necessarily mean there's something wrong, but usually they'll have, a couple of 3, 4 girlfriends, even if they're a late bloomer and they would, waited till after high school. There's normally a little bit
There's
of a
usually at least
trail
one
somewhere.
serious relationship somewhere
Yeah.
before you get married.
Right, yeah. And so that shows me he just couldn't form those attachments. And then he said in that Coder interview that, well, yeah, if it hadn't been for Nikki, yeah, I think everything would have been great with Shanann. So, like, all these problems that he was saying, like, she wasn't, but now he's saying again, she wasn't his soulmate. Nikki was the soulmate. So he goes back and forth and
But is that
back and
just
forth.
him trying to blame it on Nikki?
It's him trying to blame anybody but Christopher
Anybody,
Watson.
right, yeah.
And
There was an excerpt
everything
from the book that I
else.
saw, and the excerpt from the book that I found was just a photograph of the page, but it was effectively saying, Nikki seduced him and it's all her fault, and if he'd never met her, he would never have done it. And I think that was also quoted by the Daily Mail, or the Daily Fail as we call it here. And I think that it's anybody's fault but Christopher's.
Yeah. And his mother is just, it's not your fault, Chris. It's not your fault. And Ronnie, the same thing. And, oh my gosh. And then, Jamie is probably freaking out because, whatever she's saying about her, Mom, they're saying I'm damaged goods now. Something's wrong with us, right? And who knows what if her husband isn't throwing that in her face, right? The perfect marriage that she says she has. We don't know what the heck it's like. And so, yeah, they're trying desperately to show it's not Chris.
And the best thing they could possibly do is say,
nothing.
Our son did something terribly, horrible, unthinkable, and unforgivable. We still love him because he's our son. We can't help that. But what he did was fundamentally wrong, and the children in Shanann did not deserve what happened to them, and accept that and say it publicly. And that would probably give them some peace and some ability to move in society. But instead, they're clinging on to this lie for dear life.
She's not going to do that because anything that Chris did, I think she sees it as a direct reflection on her, because there's that whole, well, how did I raise a murderer?
Right.
How
Everyone
did I
says,
not see
who's
this?
the psychopath, Ronnie or Cindy? Right. That's what, exactly.
So she's not going to take any culpability in any of it. So,
and by doing so, is becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy, because she's turning more people against her every time she opens her mouth.
Right. She should stop opening her mouth.
That would help, yes.
But I guarantee you, do you think she'll stop this book? I guarantee you she's more than ever determined to write this book to, take care of all that stuff. Sarah Jamie probably ordered her copy from Walmart, so it'll be there on Thursday or something. I don't know. And then they'll start refuting all that stuff.
I'm expecting for Cindy to actually, if she can possibly do it or find someone that will take a case, I am expecting for her to file a lawsuit against the author of this book.
I see Cindy herself, I think.
She's going to try to make Chris look crazy. And then I think after she makes him look crazy, she will try to get his power of attorney or whatever that's called. And I think she will sue this woman.
I don't think so. I don't think so. First of all, I don't think they have the money for the attorneys, even if they started a GoFundMe for people that are going to give them the money. He signed a contract. I don't think she's going to have a leg to stand on with that. I don't think Chris is going to allow her to do this. He's going to say, don't do this, don't do this. And I don't think there'll be a lawsuit.
And let's not forget, if there's a lawsuit, everything comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything comes out in the wash. There are no secrets anymore. So anything that she's got scribbled away, which I'm sure she does, because everybody does at some stage, but what the Watts family secrets are like, I don't even want to think about.
Right.
I'm not going to want all that coming out in public.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Gemma, the author gets the money. I'm sorry.
I could see it being something that she would look into, even if she wasn't able to proceed with it.
Well, yeah, she might.
Will
but
infuriate her that this woman came along and
she is
making money off of this story.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee she probably feels entitled to it. And, you know, where the woman kind of veered away from the narrative that Cindy wanted her to stay on. Yeah, I think Cindy's going to seek some kind of repercussion for that.
She's just infuriated, and let's face it, she's got the perfect face for that in the nicest way possible. I can't even pull such a resentful face. I don't even know how she does that face of hatred and just resentment.
Right.
But she's got that expression down pat. I can't do that face, but you know, she's just going to be more angry, and it'll be quite futile. But what she'll do is she'll try and counter it. The book is one way to counter it, so she will definitely still publish that, even though she really shouldn't.
Right.
No,
But
she
she
should
seems
not.
to she uses her own judgment, unfortunately, instead of consulting people who are more experienced in the area of public relations than her, which is just about everybody. So, you know, and as she's going, she's making things worse for herself. So it will come to a
Well, and
crunch
she's not
sometime.
just making it worse for herself, she's making it worse for her entire family, for her, you know, for Jamie's kids. They're going to
yeah.
have to grow up in the shadow of all of that too.
Well, that's what she
So-
said. You weren't there when we read the book, but one of her things in there, Tanya, was that she feels so horrible for Jamie's precious son, who they're saying is going to grow up just like his Uncle Chris. But if you look at her book, she says Chris nothing was wrong with him. He wasn't raised by two psychopaths. He's not a psychopath. There's nothing wrong with him. That what was wrong with him was when he met Shanann. So then I said, well, then why is she worried about Jamie's precious son? Because if it's just that he met Shanann and there's nothing wrong with him, then why would Jamie or anyone else be worried? So they really
Exactly.
are worried something is wrong with Chris.
I don't, I mean,
They
really
just belie their
contradictory,
own, words. It doesn't make any
And
sense what they're saying.
Who is it that's saying this about this child anyway? Who says that? What kind of person says that about a little kid? So, oh, they're going to grow up just like Uncle Christopher, and they're going to murder their family as well. That's somebody whose opinion I would be just like, oh, shut up.
But that's just like
not-
those people, right? They say like, oh, and I've got death threats too, and then it's where are they? You know, you don't
Yeah.
hear them, right? And then but
Prove
someone
it.
else gonna have blood on her hands. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
another story. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that is a
just
whole other
I
story.
mean, it's like you could say anything you want, and a lot of people, manipulators, do that. Right? They say, oh, either this person did this. I had someone call and say that I should kill myself, you know, and it's like, really? Who did? Where? You know, it's just nothing. Just make yourself
Who
a
did that?
victim. So yeah, so this is what she's saying. Well, who's saying that about Jamie's kid? And I was told that too by Mel, that how would I feel if one of these nutsos that listens here, this was last year, if goes and kills Jamie or one of her kids. This is what was told to me. I have this in a message. This is not. And how would I feel? I said, what do you mean, how would I feel? I have never told anyone to kill anyone. And this is insane, right? Nor would I. And, you know, so now you're saying what? Because I stood up for Shanann, that someone might get the wrong message and go and kill Jamie or her kids, and then it's going to come back on me? Oh, come on. You know, I mean, I've heard such crazy things.
That's a non-argument. That's about the person doing it, not you.
Yeah.
So it's just a ridiculous argument. So you're supposed to keep quiet about everything forever in case some nutter somewhere takes it the wrong way.
Right.
So we'll just put a gag order on everything, shall we?
But they don't say like them slamming Shanann. What if one of their nutters, right, went and killed someone in the Rusak family because, you know, they feel that Shanann brought what she's saying about Shanann, right? That Shanann caused this. Now, isn't that the worst thing? Right now, they might think, oh, let's go, you know, do something to that family because they caused this whole turmoil for the Watts. That's 100 times worse what she's saying. So, you know, it's like it doesn't.
Yeah, so you're forgetting the counter and the hypocrisy there.
Oh my gosh. But no, that was really told to me. Like, how was I going to feel?
the hypocrisy is strong in that family.
It's strong in those ones, yes.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you,
this
Stephanie. Hi,
victim.
Mommy. Is Frankie in the chat? Thank you for your hard work and the time you put in. He's a subscriber to the channel. I haven't seen him in the chat. I think you see Janelle talking to them, and it's confusing. But I think Janelle's just tagging them. I haven't
It's
seen
just
them.
letting them know that we care, I
Yeah.
think, is what Janelle's doing in the chat. And that's nice, because if Frankie watches the live back, yes, later, he'll be able to see that people do care. So
Right.
that's lovely. And we all do. We all
Right.
do. So.
Absolutely.
And is it not such a shame that, I mean, you wouldn't even think that people would need to defend a murder victim
To defend him? Yeah.
or to defend that. I mean, no one should have ever had to have defended Shanann.
So
She
there's a
was the
reason-
Oh, to
victim.
defend
There's a
Shanann,
reason
right,
for
yes. Okay, now I hear you. Okay. Yes, to defend her. No, she should have never been slandered
Right, exactly.
at all. Yeah, I agree.
And I'm, and I understand, that read technique that they use when they're trying to get somebody to confess, get them to own up to just a little bit of something and then get them to go from there. But, I wish they had taken a different approach with that. And
I think Tammy does as well, to be fair.
which, I don't think they ever saw that coming, that, what would come out of it, but.
Well, they had this, because he has this good guy thing. In fairness to them, it got the confession, enough of a confession that they needed to detain him. That's,
right,
so
it did.
in a way, it was very successful. However, when he said what he said, which was the best lie he could come up with, and he ran with what Tammy said, I bet Tammy was thinking, oh, but
Right.
it got him into jail.
Yeah,
So-
but you know what he said that's always had me think? He said something to Coda, well, you know why I went there and I went without an attorney. You know why I did that, right? And that, again, makes him sound like he wasn't so naive, that, like there was more calculating than you even know. Like, I don't know. Just because, because he says, he doesn't say, I was stupid to go there without an attorney, or I regret going there without an attorney. Like Skylar's father says, I regret not getting her an attorney. He says, you know that I stayed here. Remember when he said, I've been here 6 hours and 14, he knew down to the minute how long he was there. And then he told Coder, it's almost like I was a good boy, wasn't I? I sat there, I answered your questions. I didn't say I had to leave. I never even got upset. I never even said, how long is this going to take, right? And then he said, and you know why I didn't even, come in with an attorney. It just, there's so much.
I think it's
He is calculating,
Does this
though.
make you think? Is this what he had planned all along?
Now, let me ask you ladies this. What would happen? I mean, I know he's already been sentenced, and as far as I know, there was no legitimate psychological evaluation done on him.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen if they were to determine that he was mentally ill now at this point?
Makes no difference.
No, it's just too late.
I mean, would it
Too late.
would it switch him to more of a hospitalized facility?
No, not unless there's a reason to move him out of prison. If he's fine and he's not causing any issues where he is, then they would just leave him where he is. It would cost more money to put him into a facility like a hospital than it does in prison.
Because it almost looks like, it almost looks like he's trying to make himself seem crazy. And I mean, is he beyond the point of being able to file any kind of appeal?
Yeah.
Or,
Yes, he
okay.
can't do that. Yeah. So when he says he could be getting out, it's just pipe dreams. And I think he kind of knows it, and I think he says it to aggravate people and wind people up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. To keep people talking about him, I think, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to stay relevant and to stay out there and,
Do you think maybe he's trying to stay so relevant? Because, he's really not going to know how relevant he is or not unless someone tells him. But I wonder if he's trying to keep himself in the public eye, because typically prisoners in the public eye are treated a little bit better. They're kept a little bit safer.
Like a little, maybe people will be coming to see him with Powerades and stuff like that, buying
Right.
cheeseburgers.
And, you know, guards will make, you know, a little extra
take pictures
sure
with
that,
him, keep him alive, because he's, you know, it's, oh, look, I got Watts here. Okay, want to do a selfie? Yeah.
Because if
okay.
he gets murdered, it'll get noticed. That
Right.
said, that didn't really work for Jeffrey Dahmer now, did it?
No.
But Jeffrey Dahmer was not as likable as Chris thinks he is. You know what I mean? It's like, because
Yeah.
Chris comes off, you know, Dahmer was like, it was like scary, like, ooh, scary, right? Because like he's doing, cutting heads off. It's not somebody like, you know, where Chris is pretending he's just like a poor little lost boy and he just needs
And
someone to help
the
him.
public-
You know, he was
and the
taken
public
advantage of.
perception of him, to, you know, to a certain degree, you know, more so in the beginning, but people had that perception of him. There was so much poor Chris, and oh my gosh, you know, look at what he went through, and people were making him a victim.
Yeah, then I think that was his intention. But I think what will happen is, because we all know the case so well, we are coming to the realization much more quickly of what he is now, because he's of the behaviour that he's exhibiting and because of previous knowledge of other cases. And I think quite a lot of people in the field will know, but for the general public to have it sink in that he's actually a psychopath and a manipulator and is actually a very cruel person, an actual monster, rather than just being called a monster because he murdered people. I think that realization will take a long time to filter through to the general public as a whole.
Right.
I do too, because most people that know about the case, it's usually just headlines or, you know, maybe an article that came across Facebook, very minimal.
Yeah. I wonder if John Douglas will, do an interview with him.
That would be good.
He should, right? Yeah.
Killer
across the table. That would be really real killer.
That I
across
would pay for.
Yeah, that would be really good to see that. But people are going to want to just look at Ted Bundy, right? They right up until his execution, they were that guy with the tapes, you know, going right to visit him and all the documentaries. It happens, and especially it happens when you had Ted Bundy was a good-looking guy. He was a smart guy. People would have called him a catch, right? You know, like, oh my gosh, look at this guy. So I think when they're more like that, they get more attention. Like, how did this guy, you know, like what? This is crazy, right? So
I think we still expect our serial killers to wear masks and carry axes.
or just to be like really gruesome, right? But some of them are gruesome. Like Longo is not that attractive or anything like this. So I think and the other one, the one that John Douglas did, the one that cut his mother's head. What was that? Kemper. Kemper. Is it
Tall
Kemper?
guy.
Kemper, is it?
Edmund Kemper.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's not such a looker or anything like that. So, you
No,
know,
he's really not.
but Scott Peterson, you know, so he's, you know, they're going to give him a lot of attention, and then it's not any
And look how
different
much
than with them.
attention he still gets.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's even...
Because I think there's a theory too, like, okay, if you have someone that's like, let's say, you know, not attractive, maybe they're awkward, maybe, and Chris, okay, was that, okay, but then he got a beautiful girl and he had what looked like the perfect life, right? So when you see that and they go, you know, then I think people want to study them even more. Where you see the Ted Bundys that could have had, you know, he could have been a great lawyer. Even the judge said it. You could have been a great litigator. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You took a different path. And, you know, he could have had any girl he wanted. He was charismatic. He was, you know, but then, then what happened? So I think people are more so with that than if you have somebody that's really goofy and maybe looks really weird and acts really weird and never got mad, you know, then they're like, well, there was something wrong with him.
Also people from environments where they're coming from an environment where a child is going to be damaged. Like Mary Bell, who was raised by a mother who was a prostitute and saw things
Right.
children would never see, and was pushed out of a window and poisoned by her own mother. You can
Yeah.
kind of understand how that child would grow up broken. But then when
Right.
you've got people who are raised normally in a normal environment, or appear to be, how does that then create a murderer?
Right. Well, that, when you've got your Scott Petersons and your Chris Watsons, Ted Bundy, I mean, these are high functioning people. They're paying mortgages and going to law school and, buying homes, providing for families. Everything else in their life is normal except for their,
Well, Ted Bundy was a very specific. I think it's possibly a psychopathy link because they can function normally because they know what's expected of them, and they do enjoy the company of other people because it serves them. They enjoy to manipulate and play games with other people, but there is this compulsion to use people as quite literal toys, and they are disposable.
Well, and didn't Ted Bundy even say that even as a small child that he saw relationships and he knew that people had them, but he didn't understand them, so he would just imitate people around him?
And that was very honest of him.
And Ted Bundy also had the thing with the sister being the mother, and he had that stuff. So that was a little bit, could be a little bit.
But now he didn't find that out till high school, did he?
He found that out. I mean, he was older. I think he was was he in high school? I don't know his exact age, but he was older. Yeah, he grew up thinking his mother was his sister for a long time.
But they even think that there was a 8-year-old girl that lived down the road, and there were a lot of theories that went around that the first time he ever killed somebody was when he was 8, and it was that little girl. And I can't remember her name, but Ted Bundy's, let's see, that little girl's mother would write Ted Bundy letters in prison trying to get him, to confess to it. But he never did.
To be honest, I think if it had been him, he probably would have done, but it's difficult with when you're looking at like Ted Bundy, and you've got like people like Jeffrey Dahmer as well. His only real trauma appears to be his mother moving out of the house without his sibling and leaving him alone at 18.
I kind of felt like with Ted Bundy, that one girl that he dated, that her father didn't want them to date anymore because he wasn't good enough. I kind of felt like he was killing her over and over and over without ever actually killing her. Like he was kind of killing her by proxy, I guess.
Possible. Absolutely.
Yeah, could be. I think that's why I'm trying to read what everybody said here. But yeah, there's John Wayne Gacy. That's another one that was like, just first of all, it was like horrible. But like you didn't have. I mean, you had people studying, obviously, but just not, flocking. I don't think he had anybody marrying him in prison.
No,
but there probably was some clown. I don't know.
Now, would you all think that Darlie Ratier would have fit into that family annihilator category?
Well, yeah, she definitely was a family annihilator, and so was Susan Smith. And Susan Smith wasn't going to kill anybody else. I don't think, it was just to get
Diane Downs.
But yeah, Diane Downs definitely. She's oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that yeah. But Ratier, she didn't kill the husband. She didn't kill the baby. The baby was upstairs, right?
Right.
Okay, so she only killed the 2 little boys. Allegedly, or she was convicted. So I can say, yeah, she's only convicted of killing the 2 little boys. The husband now, but now they say the husband. The only thing with her case, I keep thinking like, did that first husband that he was more in on it than anybody thought. Just because he didn't seem that shocked, like
I think I think with Darlie Retier,
Mm-hmm.
I would really, the husband and her sister give me pause. Because her sister was the one that left that window open.
Her sister was
It-
having an affair with her husband, Sonia said. Did you hear that?
There was a rumor that they were, and when they were in court, Darlie's lawyers even told them to chill. They were on the Lisa, you remember the Lisa Gibbons show?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Back in-
yeah. Yeah,
The
back in the day.
Retiers were on there.
Really? Yeah.
And yeah, it's on YouTube. It's like a 2 or 3 part, but there was a part where they started to talk to the sister, the one that had been staying there for 2 weeks. The one Darren had supposedly tried to get the loan for to get a truck, but he told the bank it was for a vacation. You know, and it's like kind of weird, like why are you all are having money problems? Why are you trying to buy your wife's sister a vehicle? But I always kind of wondered, like, he was very protective over her, and on that Lisa Gibbons show, when the woman started to talk to her, she ran off the stage.
When the
And-
wait, what woman tried to
Oh,
talk to
the
her?
Lisa,
Lisa tried to talk to the sister.
yes.
She ran off the stage.
And she never came back. So I thought that was odd. And I thought it was odd that she didn't have to testify, because who would have been better to have spoke to Darlie's state of mind than the sister who'd been living with her for 2 weeks and just had to abruptly leave that day. I don't know. I mean, I just, that's one case that it really makes me wonder if they actually got it right.
Yeah, and I think you're not alone in that. There's a lot of people questioning the Dolly Rutier case.
Yeah,
so-
there's different things. So I don't know like what.
And if it was
What-
just to get rid of, you know, the children, well, she left one child alive.
Yeah, that's I know.
odd.
There's things there that don't make sense. Like what there was an insurance policy on the kids or something.
It was like $10,000. I
A
mean,
small-
it wasn't
yeah.
enough to, it wouldn't even have gotten them out of debt.
Mm-hmm.
Or and they weren't really on paper in, you know, I mean, they had their house payment and stuff, but as far as behind, I think they were only like $22,000 in debt anyways.
And
So-
what about you know, like what other? I think someone
And they
said
really-
that they
they
had
dubbed
drugs,
her-
right? Didn't they?
And
bring-
they found like some pot. I don't think they found anything really strong.
But there was insurance fraud, right? He was. The
He
husband?
came out later. This was after Darlie had been convicted. He came out later and said, to me, he makes it sound like Darlie's lawyer approached him and had him say something that would create reasonable doubt for her appeal. Like, oh, I'd talked to somebody about staging a break-in. Because according to what he said, he told Darlie's stepfather that he was going to have somebody break into their house, and he had already committed some kind of insurance thing with a car. But I don't know. Something just doesn't sit right with me about that case. And I think it was partly the way that they tried that case. Like they immediately dubbed her the Texas Susan Smith. And
Right, but did she have somebody she was involved with?
no, not that they ever.
Because
if
Susan
she
Smith did
nobody
that to
ever
go
knew.
with her new guy that didn't want kids.
Well, I think they called her that because of killing, they thought she killed the kids like Susan Smith had killed hers.
But
But
there was no real motive. And it was, to be honest, with Darlie, it was the city string that did for Darlie.
right,
it
and they
was
didn't
the-
even play the whole tape of that. They just
No,
played.
they didn't. They showed a selected part that made her look really bad.
And then the
Yeah.
author that wrote the book about that case she was on the Lisa show as well, and she sat through the whole trial, wrote a book. It was called Precious something.
Oh yeah, isn't she the one that got killed in her driveway or something? Remember the thing that was attached to that? The judges, we went through that. There was some other crazy thing attached to that Routier case that the woman, remember the husband killed her? Nobody remembers that? The thing that, oh my gosh, now it feels like a dream. We went through it, and it was something, it was connected to the judge in the case, and the husband, remember, he killed the wife in the bed. Nobody remembers.
I have an inkling because I like you, I kind of remember it, but it was a long time ago. I'm sure one of the chat should remember.
Nobody remembers something being connected where somebody else, the mother, and it was like, I think 2 other kids, and he killed them. I think he killed the kids in the car. I think it was the judge's daughter, I think, or it was something like that.
Wow.
In Texas. That was me, Mommy, DC Light said. That was you with what? You know that what the judge's daughter or something? And then what do they say? Somebody's saying something about Philpott, J Bells.
Mick Philpott.
Yeah, who is that?
He's I can't think of a pleasant word for him, a person, and he was quite notorious in the United Kingdom. He went on to these trash talk shows like Jerry Kyle, like Jerry Springer kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And he was basically somebody who claimed benefits, had multiple children, and he had 2 women in the house with him, waiting on him hand and foot. And what had happened was he claimed that they'd had a fire and it was an accident, but one of these women had left him, and he was going to lose benefit money if the children went to live with her.
Right.
So what he wanted to do was cause a fire to claim that she did it, so he would get custody of the children, but he didn't plan it very well, and he ended up killing them.
Oh, wow.
Gosh.
Horrible individual.
DC
The press conference is horrendous. The fake crying that goes on there is just absolutely horrendous.
I'll have to check it out. Oh, that's I don't. DC Light said she sent me that, so I don't know. I knew that. I know there's something that's connected to the Routier case somehow.
And something else I remember about that case, while they were doing her trial, all they wanted to talk about was her boob job and her looks and.
Well, they were saying, but that was their tactic, because they were saying that she really didn't want to be a mother. The prosecution was saying she really didn't want to be a mother. She was really very upset at how her body changed, and that she went and had the boob job and everything, and just didn't want that. She was tired of that life, and she wanted to get rid of it. That was what they were saying.
Right, which to me just didn't make sense, because she
leaving
didn't
the baby
get rid
alive.
of it.
Right, absolutely, leaving the baby alive, and then and not really having any real remorse that you saw about the kids. That was troublesome.
It's amazing how much. Don't forget, I mean, you couldn't call Dolly Routier ugly by any stretch, but it's the fact that it's amazing what you can achieve by dropping a spot of poison about somebody being shallow or self-absorbed and not self-sacrificing and humble. And that was also part of that process. They just demonized her by making her look shallow and selfish, and that was all part of the prosecution.
Yeah, but I just can't, that case, I can't figure out that case, because it's like, right, she didn't get rid of her whole family. She left the baby, which would have been the biggest, would
have been the most work.
Well, yeah, the most work, absolutely. And, what happened? Did something, did she not go through with it? I don't know. It just doesn't,
it doesn't
make any sense.
It doesn't, no.
Like, because she did, and it wasn't like she was, out on the town prior to that either. I mean, her and her husband went out a little bit, but she wasn't out leaving her husband at home to watch the kids so she could run around.
Right.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't having an affair. She wasn't. The motive of killing the children for money is a bit of a misnomer. So
There wasn't any history of abuse.
No.
And the way that those poor little boys, I mean, that was violent. It was, almost rage. And I know her story changed a few times there in the beginning, but it's like you've got all these people trying to convict you of murder, and maybe she really doesn't even remember and just doesn't know what to say because she doesn't remember.
But people use this a lot. But initially, your story, you may not even remember because you're traumatized and you're in shock. And then obviously you'd be worried you're going to be convicted of murder. So do you lie then to cover your backside? But like early doors, I can understand that. But when you get to the stage that what's he poos does that, that's when it becomes a bit of a misnomer, really.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. That's one case that baffles me.
I've hung on to that one for a long time, very into like the John Benet Ramsey case as well, which I don't really feel like there's any more question to that one. But the Darlie Routier case, I just have always, I felt like Darren would have had more to gain by doing it.
Yeah.
And, because the two kids that were killed would have been the ones that would have remembered her. That baby wouldn't have remembered her.
Right.
So he could have brought any, and if he was having an affair, let me come in and help take care of the baby. And I don't know.
And he has, of course, put paid to any suspicion of him by consistently supporting Darlie throughout the whole thing and being actively involved in illegal issues.
And he did it just long enough to take any suspicion off of himself. And I don't know if I buy the whole, he tried to get somebody to break in, or I think that was just him working with her defense attorney to try to, have something to bring up during an appeal to take the focus off of Darlie. But that was probably her attorney's idea too. Because I think if he'd ever really said that to her stepdad, it probably would have came out very early.
Yeah, I mean, I did that case. It's very confusing. But I think if anybody, it is the husband had more to do with it at the time.
I do, and that night, it was the husband that drove the sister home, or to her house that she lived in with her boyfriend that wasn't home. But all of a sudden, she had talked to him on the phone, and all of a sudden, she just had to go home. And she admittedly left that window unlocked. And for whatever reason, she didn't get put on the stand. When she was the last one there, she could have spoke to the state of mind, to any arguments, any tension that had been going on in the house, because she'd been there for weeks. And that, and that just all of a sudden happens, like when she leaves. And it just made me wonder, did he really take her home? Did she come back in through that window and
didn't they say the dust wasn't disturbed on the outside of that window or something?
Well, they talked about footprints and stuff, but there really wouldn't have been any footprints. And the dust should have been disturbed anyways, because the sister was a smoker and they didn't smoke in the house. So she had to go to that window and open it when she would smoke and close it. She would open it up and close it back while she was smoking. And she had been there that day, and smokers usually can't go a couple of hours without a cigarette. Maybe 4 or 5 hours at the most. So she would have been opening that window up and down the whole time she was there.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many. Oh,
It just,
things, yeah.
That's going to take longer than we've got this morning, I think. But
Yeah.
I'm going to excuse myself.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna
what
go and
time is
make
it?
a
It's
cuppa.
it's 4. Yeah, 4. You're gonna have what time? Oh, you're
I'm
9:21, right?
Yeah, 9:22 now, just gone. So
You're
I'm
off
gonna make a
today?
cuppa.
You're,
Sorry?
you're off today?
I am, yes.
No rat
I
race.
am.
No rat race today.
No rat race, so I am going to go and delve into some cases. So as you do.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's some interesting ones that I've got my eye on, and I've got some fun things coming up over Halloween as well.
Ooh,
So
fun things.
yes, fun things. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for having me, and I'm going
Yeah,
to go
thanks
back
for
down
coming
to
on.
that.
And check out Casbat. Can we put up Casbat's link again? Go check out her channel and subscribe. So you don't
Well,
miss
thank
her
you
fun
very
things. She's got fun things coming for Halloween.
I have, yes.
Fun
All
things.
right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I'm going
for
to get
coming.
off here as well.
Okay.
And ladies, have a
All right. It was
wonderful night,
nice
wonderful
having
day.
you both. Thanks for calling in. And yeah, everyone in the Carolyn, I bought. Oh, Sonia, you're kidding me. You did buy that? Thank you. Please email me so I can pay you for that. That's unbelievable. Thank you. You're too much. Thank you. It is adorable. It looks absolutely adorable. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you. All right. So I will, I guess, get us out of here now. Thanks so much for coming. Thank you to our moderators. Thank you for everyone that was here. We went through a lot of stuff tonight. I don't, it's, sometimes I don't know where we began. We began with the, look at that. We began with those Christmas ornaments and we ended with those Christmas ornaments. So at least we come full circle. All right, everyone have a good night and have fun. Go to Walmart if you can. No, don't. It'll become an obsession. I'll take us out of here. Thanks so much, guys. Everybody take care. See you tomorrow.